That's a way. No, that one. This one. That's a way better pillow than the pillow I'm holding.
Yeah?
Hell yeah.
This is great podcast content, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Did you already start?
I did already start.
You're
Hold on, wait.
You're a bastard. This is dumb.
I kind of have to agree. This is dumb. Just edit it in, you lazy
so
bitch.
Dumb, dude.
Oh,
You're
wait.
so lazy.
Just edit it in.
There's no way we're waiting for the whole old intro.
We are waiting for the whole old intro.
I hate you.
What the fuck is this?
This is the Liam's rap for the old intro. Alright, there we go. Banana.
We're not doing that.
Banana. We're never doing that
We're
again?
never doing. Not on this. There's
We're
no way.
experimenting.
That's a bad. That's dumb.
I
This
feel
is
like you
short
guys
sauce.
are in a constant state of experimenting.
Basically.
No, that's good though.
I mean, yeah, I'm
Well-
not shitting it, but you know.
This is Shirts Off, Season 3, Episode 15.
Sounds good.
Yes.
This
Today, we got Chris with us. Professional fighting game
professional
fighter, player,
guy who plays fighting.
guy
games.
who
There
plays
you
fighting
go.
game,
Guys who
fighting
play-
game,
guy who plays fighting games.
and goes to tournaments and,
Yeah.
and competes.
Also, this is
Welcome.
a really nice St. Patty's Day special, guys.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank
yeah,
you.
it
Yeah,
is
it is
St.
St. Patrick's Day.
Day.
This is going to come out like a month later. so. Welcome, Chris.
Yeah, we do have these
Sure.
like locked and loaded, don't
Yeah,
we? For a
yeah.
minute now.
No, this is good. I'm glad we
Yeah,
keep
no,
churning
me
out
too.
just content.
Yeah, maybe you can actually do some editing.
Yeah, for real.
Well, like
With this much time ahead, you should just throw it instead of that. You should cut out what the garbage you did a minute and 10 seconds ago, and just edit in.
our next time is just going to be a speaker next to the phone.
Oh my god.
I hate you.
No, he's gonna come back with a boom box. He's gonna be outside.
Yeah, like, you know.
It's your house, Creighton.
I'm
Please
going
let me
to.
in.
I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for the energy levels that I will
Dude,
be
drink your coffee.
giving out. Man, this is drink my coffee. This is my fourth coffee.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm going to go
it's
get
been
a
a real
Yeah.
crappy couple of days.
It's just butt chugging.
What'd you say?
He said to butt chug
the
it.
coffee. It'll
It won't help me.
I tried it.
Yes,
Oh, man.
totally.
Oh, you did the coffee enema.
No, I have heard it's amazing though. It works well. I've heard that it's like the fastest energy boost you can like achieve is a coffee enema. Dude, are you bleeding?
Yeah, no, it's all right, though.
Why are you bleeding? What are you? How do you just? Why are you always bleeding?
No,
This is
no.
weird lore we've never
Listen.
really addressed on the podcast before. Creighton's just always bleeding from
It's
somewhere.
his time of the month, goddammit. You leave
Listen,
that man be.
Listen, I
It ain't
picked
his time of the month. It's his time of the day. This motherfucker bleeds every time I see him.
a scab. It's my fault.
Why you over there picking scabs?
I don't know. I was itchy. We were sitting here watching YouTube videos before you.
No. Don't say I was asleep. I have
You
slept.
really said, don't you put that evil on me.
Yeah, I've been like off and on for 3 days straight. I've slept at the most at one time, maybe 2.5 hours in 3 days.
There we go.
What are you doing?
All patched up.
That big storm that rolled through, like flooded our property.
Oh.
So like our basement, all of our
That was
garages.
yesterday.
It was yesterday was us cleaning it,
Damn.
but it happened.
overnight.
Yeah, and
Is
just
everything okay?
yeah, I guess. I mean, it's just been a long couple of days.
Okay, no wonder you're tired.
Yeah, tired as hell.
So, did you guys get a water pump on or anything? Or
We have a sump pump that was not plugged in for some reason. We got it back plugged up and working. It's doing its thing. I've got a dehumidifier on just 24/7, just like sucking water out of the fucking air. I'm tired.
yeah,
It's okay.
no.
With what you just explained, no wonder you're tired.
Yeah, so I apologize ahead of time if I'm not as interjecty as usual. That might actually be good for the podcast. I can let Creighton talk and and Chris talk, and I'll just sit here and be quiet. And
The only rule. There's only one rule.
there's no rules.
There's one rule.
Wow.
We talked about beforehand. It was how I was able to get Charlie to agree to have you to come on.
Wait, what?
You cannot. Just do not talk about Chris Chan because he will leave.
Oh my god! Yeah,
Now I want to.
Listen. I know you do.
it was already established, and now you've
Well, no,
it's
no,
like
no, no,
scratching
because-
an itch.
no,
You've
no,
made
listen,
him
listen.
itchy to say.
I
talk
knew
about it.
And to be
that
fair,
we would get to it eventually. Like we would would be talking, and he would say something Christian, and then you would like
He
I
would-
would.
The thing is, he wouldn't. You always are the one that brings it.
I
up.
would
And I'll
never.
be honest, I probably wouldn't have thought about it till you just said it.
Exactly.
Well, anyways, with that being said, let's
Alright,
move
no
on.
Christian.
And now the whole audience is gonna go Google it.
Yeah, just Google it if you guys are curious. Most well documented human being ever.
Oh
Anyways,
my god!
Also, you got to read Sonichu while you watch that documentary. It's kind of like,
And here we
If
are.
you were able
We're
to-
talking about it.
that's your fault.
No, it's not.
your fault.
It's his fault.
It's both your fault.
I didn't
If
do
you
shit.
if you watch the Christian documentary, you got to read Sonichu. It's like if you read Watchmen, you got to read the Tales from the Black Freighter to go with it. There you go.
anyways, fighting games.
Uh-huh.
So, what I know you play competitively, but what do you go and play competitively?
I personally switch between a lot of games. Currently,
That's kind of all the fighting metas is you switch
yeah.
between the best fighting game.
like there's
and
one game you pick,
focus on
but
it
you
for a
lock
year.
in on it. I personally go with Street Fighter 6. I love that game. It's still pretty fresh, even though it came out like 3 years ago. It's still pretty fresh. It gets new updates. King of Fighters 15, I think their last season ended, towards the end of last year, the beginning of this year. As in the last 2 DLC characters came out. And now we're waiting for the next game in that series. Well, from that studio. And also, I always play my GOAT, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I love Marvel vs. Capcom 2. My favorite game of all time.
Hell yeah. When you go and compete, are you like, where do you usually place?
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I get knocked out early.
Damn.
I'm not even gonna I'm not gonna lie to you or the audience, man. I get knocked out early. But that's also the fun of it. I get knocked out early. I'm able to talk with the other competitors like, okay, so here's how you do this. Okay, I've been working on that for a while, man. Okay, so you do this, you do that. All right.
We've talked to Evan, who's done, what is it, pubs with...
He's currently like focusing on Apex Legends.
Yeah.
That's like his big game. One thing that I've always been very jealous as a competitive gamer of fighting games is that, like Chris just said, right now he's on Street Fighter 6. It's 3 years old, but there's still a competitive atmosphere for it. Like Call of Duty,
It's like a year, right?
you get 1 year, not even a year to tackle like the current game, and we're like 10 years deep into them all being trash.
Really?
Yeah, and like I can't remember if it was either the game right after Black Ops 3 or 2 games after Black Ops 3. Scumpy, who was a pro player for a long time, he made a YouTube video and he was talking about like he was kind of like trying to sidestep the competitive environment and be like, he was playing Black Ops 3 as he was doing the video and talking to the audience, on YouTube.
Yeah.
He was like, this is a game that I would love to play competitively and continue to play. This game's amazing. I would really like it, like looking at the camera almost, like if we would just play this instead of the main game,
Yeah.
and like he was trying to like, I think at the time he was trying to like sort of like very pussily make a stand versus the status quo of Call of Duty.
The most passive stand.
The most
ever.
passive aggressive stance ever was like, I don't want to play Infinite Warfare or whatever the fucking game was.
Whatever it was at that time.
Yeah, I want to play Black Ops 3. And
Was
like
it
a lot
Cold
of
War?
them, that was Cold War was all the Treyarch ones. The pros usually are like, we have fun playing Treyarch Call of
Yeah.
Duty's competitive. I mean, pros have fun anyway. Because they're only playing each other, but they can't enjoy the base game.
So-
you don't enjoy playing public matches. You don't enjoy playing competitive like ranked play modes because the games are just bad and the general player base is cheating or just bad.
Yeah.
So for shooters, it's completely different. Whatever the
Yeah.
new game is, you gotta hop on that.
Basically,
Yeah.
pretty
Okay.
much. I mean, you have your occasional like CS:GO.
Oh yeah.
It's 20 years old. Like they're just playing the same maps in the same game, and they're all happy about. I mean, it's still toxic as fuck, but they enjoy that thing and they continue that thing.
And it's funny you mentioned that, Charlie, because last year, at EVO, which for those of you that aren't in the know,
For the
EVO is
It's the fucking Olympics for fighting games.
yeah, basically. And last year they actually decided to have Street Fighter 3 Third Strike as their as one of their main stage games. If you don't know, Third Strike was a game that came out back in I want to say like the mid 90s, and they're still running tournaments for
Yeah.
that. Like, matter
Don't
of
they
fact,
still have like giant Star Fox tournaments too?
I think so, but I'm not gonna pretend to be an
Yeah,
expert
yeah.
there.
I
don't
just
know a
there
lot
there are
about Star
certain games
Fox.
that are old that are not mainstream that like there are still huge tournaments for because there's still like there's still prize money to be won. There's still people putting up
Yeah, there's still a
like
lot.
entries for these old games and killing it.
Oh, thank you.
Well, and I would say too to that fighting games don't really age like how FPS can.
I'd say on a technical level they do, because like every couple of years, at least back then before, gaming went completely digital, if you like games would update. Do you know how many revisions of Street Fighter 2 there are? There's like 6.
Really?
Yeah, that you've got your first Street Fighter 2, that one came out.
Think
Then
about how
we
many
had-
revisions Skyrim has.
Oh my god.
Like
Oh my god. That's like Skyrim's what, 4 consoles deep now?
Four's
not only that,
close.
Well, I mean like
So many.
generations. Like 4
Oh,
generations. yeah.
maybe generations.
Yeah.
It's multiple consoles and multiple generations of consoles
Yeah.
deep.
like in terms of Street Fighter 2, you got Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers, Street Fighter 2, there's one I'm missing, but I know there's Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which just makes the game a little faster. Street Fighter 2
They're like, we gotta
Championship-
release this. We sped it up
Yeah, that's really it.
to by 2.
Listen, guys, I got a good idea.
Yo,
Everybody's complaining about how slow our game is. All these new fancy schmancy fighting games are getting too quick. We need to remake Street Fighter 2 a little fast.
2 Street, 2
Actually,
Fighter.
hang on.
Two Street 2 Fighter is amazing. Of all the two blank jokes you've made in the last year, that's the best one yet.
Also, it's a running thing for him to just do that.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we were already talking about potential podcast titles for recurring guests. And
Oh,
I went
yes.
out to
Marissa's back. Too fast, too Marissa, or whatever.
yeah,
He just keeps
2
wanting.
Pickle, 2 Pascal.
Yeah, there
Okay, I've got the complete list of what.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so
Are
we
you
got
ready?
Street Fighter
ready,
2.
son?
Stop touching me.
We got Street Fighter 2. Then we got Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Wait, I should probably tell you when Street Fighter 2 came out. The first Street Fighter 2, The World Warriors, came out in 1991.
Damn.
Then we've got...
That game's older than you, Charlie, and you're old.
Bro, don't say
You're
that
like
like you're...
54.
Oh my god.
That doesn't math at all. That math doesn't make sense.
And I'm talking about dog years.
That's even less. So
It's okay.
I'd be 400
We still love
years
you,
old.
Grampy.
Oh, Paw Charlie.
I hate
He's
everyone.
got to take his nap.
Okay, so we got Street Fighter 2. I was
I'm
about
not
to say
200
Street Fighter 1. Street Fighter 2 in 1991. Street Fighter 2 The Champion Edition in 1992.
Oh,
Then
damn.
Street-
So they really went year to year for a minute.
I'm getting to the...
Oh,
I'm getting
sorry.
to that.
Go
Don't
ahead.
worry.
Sorry.
Then we got Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, also in 1992. Then we got
Said, fuck it, 6 months.
Then we got that's the one that actually sped the game up.
That's hilarious.
Then we got Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers. That came in 93. Then Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Oh, excuse me. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Wait, is that one just even faster?
No. This one actually combines elements of Super Street Fighter 2 and Turbo. Basically, it lets you pick whichever character you want for like any revision of those games. Then later on, they released Hyper Street Fighter 2 in 2003. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix in 2008. Then Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers in 2017. So if you want to play Street Fighter 2, you will never be without a chance to play Street Fighter 2. Like, they released that game so much, and that was before they did patches.
That and so like we have that existing in the game world, but we can't find a decent copy of Sly Cooper Fox.
And somehow Titanfall 2 servers are already offline.
Titanfall 2 servers are offline.
All the Titanfalls are offline.
That's crazy.
and we
that
still,
game's
and we still have
relatively
Street Fighter.
new.
And we still have Street Fighter.
Of course you're going to have Street Fighter. You got guys like me who are going to be pumping dollars. I got to get my next fix, baby.
Yeah.
And also praying that their characters come back. Because with fighting games, and this is a big thing in the competitive scene, you're going to be praying that your character comes back, man. Like, because you don't want to have to learn the next new characters that come out. Like, the Street Fighter 6, has most of the cast from Street Fighter 2 back.
And the player combo, like the controls and combos are pretty much the same.
Not
Power-ups.
quite. Well, the character inputs are pretty much the same. Like, this is for you people that have probably never played a fighting game. You've got these things called motion inputs. You do quarter circles, which, I don't know. For those of you that are listening, just pick up a game controller, mess with your analog stick, push the stick down, and do a slight half circle to the right. That's a quarter circle. There you go. I know I just explained it in a confusing way. A half circle is when you just move your stick to the left and move it halfway around whatever the stick base is.
Like a half moon. You're making
Yeah,
a half
you're making
moon
a half
with the
moon.
motion
Like a
of
half
the analog stick.
like part of the moon phases.
Exactly. Like, all the
Yeah,
characters
yeah,
have their usual
yeah,
inputs.
A half moon. One of the moon phases, of course.
Like half of a circle of cheese.
Okay, fine.
Imagine a circle, cut it in half.
All right, to do...
We're doing that with an analog controller.
Okay, fine. To
But
do
not like
reuse,
Thanos destroying
famous-
half of the universe.
to do reuse
different.
famous Hadouken,
So
you gotta
get a piece of paper, cut a circle out of it, fold it in half,
And they cut the half off.
cut that in half. That's what you're doing with your stick.
I feel like we're down to a fourth of paper.
That's the point. You gotta be down to like quarter circle.
Quarter, Creighton.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
I'm
quarter
sorry.
circle.
See, this is why I'm over explaining it, because Creighton doesn't understand. It wasn't to be ridiculous and to continue explaining the thing you explained 3 times in a row for real.
You know what?
I was actually trying to get you to understand. I wasn't just joking for the audience. Wink, audience.
Love you, audience.
I think
Love you, audience.
that we're missing the biggest analogy here.
Yeah?
Pizza.
You don't understand what an analogy is.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I just learned.
I'm gonna explain this in numpad notation.
Oh, God. Here we go.
All right. So, for those of you at home, if you're sitting at a computer, whatever, and you know like your numpad on the right side, I want
This
you.
might be the most autistic episode we've done yet.
Yes, fighting games are autistic as fuck, man.
Yeah.
And I'm explaining it in the most autistic manner I possibly can right now.
Hell yeah.
So, numpad notation is basically, we use that as kind of a shorthand for everybody. It's easy to figure out. When I figured out numpad notation myself, I did the Jimmy Neutron brain blast. And I figured it out. Now, numpad notation, that quarter circle will basically be 2, 3, 6. 2, 3, 6, you know. Quarter circle, 2, 3, 6. Then a punch. That's how you do the Hadouken. Now, that's a legacy move. Like, Ryu will never be without that move. No matter what version of Street Fighter... Hell, Street Fighter 10 could come out in, like, when I'm 50. Ryu will probably
Ryu
still
will be the same.
Ryu will be the same. He's the same in every fucking game he's in. Every game, even if it's not a Street Fighter. Marvel vs. Capcom. Your Family Guy fighting game that came out.
There was a Family Guy fighting?
Yeah, and he was in it.
That's pretty fucking sick. Ryu, wasn't he also in Gravity Falls?
No, that was a character that was not Ryu. Like, he
Oh,
was supposed
but
to be
it
like,
was Ryu.
Yeah, he's
was-
supposed to be
yeah.
a general take on like those old fighting games and beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
So Ryu will always be the same. And while I'm talking about Ryu, I should probably go into character archetypes. Okay, Ryu is what's known as a Shoto. Shoto just means they've got your basic fireballs, that's the Hadouken. Shoryukens, which is Dragon Punch, call it DP for short. That's just an anti-air. You've probably seen the Shoryuken, I know you've seen it. If you know what Street Fighter is, you've seen the Shoryuken. And then Natatsu, that's just a half circle kickback.
Hell yeah.
So that's a Shoto. Then you've got charge characters, which these guys are kind of on the downward turn now. A lot of charge characters don't exist anymore.
They kind of brought that feature over to stuff like Overwatch, like where you can do the charge.
Before
up
I
top.
explain what a charge character is, what do you think a charge character is?
I thought
I'm so
I'm
excited
sorry.
to hear him say this.
They charge up their move, like the special move. Kinda, sorta. No.
Okay. I don't know if you know who Guile is. He's the army dude. He's played by Jean-Claude Van Damme in that Street Fighter movie. He's the army guy. He's the American representative.
Okay.
So
That's hilarious.
I should show.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is
Yeah.
the American representative.
He's the American representative in the Street Fighter movie.
Of course.
But to be fair, the Street Fighter movie is more like a G.I. Joe movie. But we're getting off topic.
No, we aren't.
We're getting off topic. Okay, so Guile has charge inputs. A charge move is basically where you hold your stick in a different direction. At the moment that you're ready to release the move, you move the stick back to move the stick forward to its next position, and then you hit the button at the same time. This will be easier if I could show you. So I'm gonna demonstrate on this water ball in front of Creighton.
Okay.
All right, I'm charging
Why'd
a
you
move
grab
here.
Charlie's dick?
Cause it was so big and massive. How else were you gonna see it?
I
So
love describing visual things on an audio podcast.
okay, this is for Creighton. I'm sorry, audience. You can look up a charge input. You're smart enough. I believe in you.
He's talking to you, audience.
I love you. All right, so Creighton, here's a charge move.
Okay.
You move the stick back like this. Then at the moment you're ready to attack, you release it while also pressing the button.
Oh, okay. So
That's
it's
a charge.
nothing like Overwatch.
No, not at all. Now, these charge inputs were actually made for people who were kind of beginners. That's why the movement is.
2-step like that.
Yeah.
So you know how I play. We've played with each other before.
Yeah.
Like I
You
just
mess
get there,
all the buttons.
Yeah, I just mash buttons, and like somehow I managed to beat our friend Videz at Marvel vs. Capcom.
You got his run back, though.
Yeah.
You beat
he
your
did.
ass.
He did. He beat my ass. But like for a good year or two, like that's
Make
all.
it 3 years.
3
Yup,
years.
It was 3 years. You never shut up about
Every
it.
time I saw him, I was like, "Hey, Videz, you remember the time I beat your ass at Marvel vs. Capcom?"
But, yeah.
The best part was it was at Donovan's house. So
Yeah. Shout out to Donovan. Love
shout
you.
out to Donovan, the most degenerate person that I think I know.
Honestly, Donovan is a way better fighting game player than me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah, Donovan sinks all his times into fighting games. That man he went through a breakup and he learned like one character's whole combo string. And I was like, you went through a breakup and did this? Most people go to the gym. He was like, yeah.
He was going to the gym in his head, like preparing his mind.
He sure the fuck was. But where was I? Okay, yeah, charge inputs. This move set was kind of designed for beginner players. However, as the years went on, less characters do it unless they already were established to be doing it. Like, for example, one of my favorite characters in any fighting game is Terry Bogard. He originates from Fatal Fury. He's a guest character in everything nowadays. He's even in Street Fighter 6. Love that for me. But yeah, Terry Bogard, he has this one move called the Rising Tackle. Initially, it was a charge input. You hold down, then move up. These days, it's Dragon Punch motion. Which, by the way, I kind of want Creighton to see what the Rising Tackle looks
Hell
like.
yeah, let me see it. How did you get into...
This would be a great moment where if Creighton could edit these videos, he could
He could
just
edit this
Chris
out,
could
yeah.
just say, "Look this up," and then
Well, I can put a link
insert
to it in the
it.
description. We'll fix it in post.
Okay, yeah, right.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Wait,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, audience, look down at the thing. Tell me if there's any links. Oh, what? There's not? That's crazy. You're telling me he didn't do it in the future? That's wild.
Did you, how did you end up, what was your first tournament that you went to?
Link in the description.
That's crazy. I want to say one of my first tournaments was at one anime convention. I can't remember which one. It was at some anime con. That
Was
we
it
went to.
Ichiban?
It might have been.
Yeah.
I can't
That's the
remember.
first one you got into?
That might
I
have been
could see that.
Because I think at the time they were running Street Fighter V,
Yeah.
and I was not a Street Fighter V player, but I
Like,
still
for a tournament, I will be.
not. Period. I didn't touch Street Fighter V until years later.
Chris is also who I've been to Ichiban with several times. Him, Videz, Quentin.
Okay, here's
And our
the
friend
Rising
Serge.
Tackle.
Let me see this tackle.
It's like,
Oh. Well,
what'd you do?
it crashed.
What'd you do?
It's just as loading. It's
Okay.
buffering.
But yeah, okay. At places like Ichiban, okay, here we go.
Okay.
I try and make myself the boss of the cabinet.
Oh, okay. It's like a, so for those of you guys not looking, it's like a, he goes upside down and then spins his punches around and hits the guy as he's jumping up. and
Yeah,
he flips
that's-
upside down.
That specific motion is known as an anti-air move.
Okay.
It's meant to, if you're jumping in, knock you right out the air.
That's one of my favorite moves, by the way.
Anti-airs?
Yes. No, I love, ever since playing Lego Star Wars when I was growing up, just like any move where you can jump and like do shit, like to do damage, I love that. Like, it just feels more like, like a Superman punch.
Okay, Graydon, we're going to put you on Injustice. We're going to have you... No, we're going to have you playing one of the best fan-made fighting games ever.
Which one?
TMNT Cross Justice League.
Jesus Christ.
That's a fan-made game?
That is a fan-made game. It is honestly really fun. There's also tournaments for it. There you go.
That sounds kind of incredible, though.
Yeah,
I haven't really ever played fighting games, but I got invested in the story of Mortal Kombat versus DC.
Yeah,
and
everyone
then
does.
after that, I got invested in the Injustice. Both of those games. Although the first one to me is a better story than the second one.
Well, yeah, the first one actually was something you can tell they kind of didn't think they would make a sequel to it.
Yeah, it's a very self-contained story.
Yeah, like I don't hate the story of Injustice, even though I'm a big Superman fan and I don't like seeing evil Superman.
Well, it's gotten to where it's like a cliche.
Yeah,
almost.
like back then, and even the first Injustice, they straight up have the real Superman. I'm big air quotes there.
Yeah.
He was real to me, damn it. But yeah, they've got the mainline Superman come in and be like, oh yeah, and then he beats the shit out of the guy, the evil Superman.
Which, like, if they had been able to do that like 5 hours earlier, the game would just be over.
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody was screaming. I myself was screaming at the screen the whole time. I was like, hey, just bring in fucking real Superman and he'll solve all of your problems in 5 minutes.
But oh yeah, fun fact about that. Speaking of Injustice and other NetherRealm games, I've never bought a NetherRealm game at like full price. Like
Injustice?
not even Injustice. I like Mortal Kombat 9, but I borrowed that from a friend back in high school. When Injustice came, I think I got it for like $3 at GameStop, and it was the complete edition. Then Injustice 2 came out. I got it at a Walmart for $13. Again, the complete edition. I won a copy of Mortal Kombat 11 in some Twitter giveaway. And I just decided I'm not going to try and get too into Mortal Kombat.
You're like, no.
No.
Street Fighter's enough.
No, Street Fighter and King of Fighters, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Always love Marvel vs. Which they released the collection for that recently. And that's the thing about like playing old fighting games. Everyone knows the tech already. And I can see why this is kind of why people struggle to get into fighting games, especially the older ones.
It's kind of like the gameplay and the natural evolution of that gameplay has become so complex that it's almost a barrier of entry.
Yeah.
For your average fan.
Like I understand.
And it's also, I mean, no offense to you
I
or
understand.
Videz, but like it's also kind of the players too, because it's like by the time I got old enough to really appreciate and enjoy like a fighting game, you and Videz were just ungodly at it. So it's like even like it's a miracle I pulled off that victory against Videz so many years ago.
Let him hear that.
But like that's why I rubbed it in his face for so long, because I was like, it just proves that I can button mash and beat you who's been training your whole life. Now, granted, he might come back and whoop my ass because he figured out my strategy, but like,
I can't believe you ended up that man's rival. I'm proud of you.
I got in his head, man. I had to replace our other friend that was his rival.
But yeah, like I can see why like those games have a hard barrier for entry, but I always tell people you don't have to be the best.
No.
Like, just have fun. That's the real fighting game community.
But, like, I will say, though, that I think that could go across the board for a lot of video games now, too. Especially the way, like, Charlie was just talking about Call of Duty. Like, everybody's either cheating or, like, is just, like, really, really good. So, like, if you're, like, a little kid trying to get into it, I mean, you're just gonna, and you're playing online, you're just gonna have your feelings hurt every day.
That's true. Like, I would not want kids to be playing, like, fighting games online. One of my friends actually used to just straight up bully kids on Dragon Ball FighterZ when that game came to Switch. He straight up said, man, I was whooping them 10-year-olds' asses. I was like, and you're proud of this?
Well, it really puts in perspective, like, the era we came up in, because we were coming up at a time when there wasn't really an established player base for certain games. You know, I mean, like you had some games that were old when we were coming up that had like a legacy base to it, but nothing compared to like what it is now.
Yeah, not to mention online wasn't really quite a thing. Like, if you were playing online, you knew how to play online back then.
Yeah.
You got the little adapter for your PlayStation 2 or your GameCube.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that the first 360 you had to have like a almost like a Wi-Fi pack out the back of it. But yeah, I mean, it's just completely different now. And also there's mobile game that's part of it too. Mobile gaming that's grown as a thing.
Well, when it comes to fighting games and like little kids, I always have my own personal rule. If you're under 10, I will actually sit there and teach you how to play step by step. Over 10, I will beat the shit out of you.
That's fair.
Like, once you hit them double digits,
you gotta learn.
Yeah, you gotta
adapt and overcome.
Like, and I only say 10 because 10 was when I first started playing fighting games.
Which is the other side of it, because like, you know, eventually we're gonna get kids that are like just gonna get better than us, and well, really you guys. They get better than you guys and just fucking dominate in a way that we've never seen before.
Yeah, I welcome that. I actually want to see new players get into fighting games.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing worse than being a part of a game community and you see, like, the same 5 people. Like,
Sonic Fox.
Sonic Fox? What's Sonic Fox?
I mean, he's a top fighting game player. I actually met him when I was at EVO.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got a picture with him.
He was like unstoppable for a few years there.
Yeah.
He just won everything he touched.
Their pronouns are they, them. We got
Oh, sorry, yeah.
But yeah, hang on. I think I still have the picture with him on my phone.
Wait, so his name's Sonic Fox?
Their name is Sonic Fox.
Their name is Sonic Fox?
Yeah.
That's a pretty sick name.
Yeah, here's me and him. Them. Excuse me.
Now I want to go back in time and just take that name. That's a sick name.
Like, dude will play games while in a huge fursuit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like, they're also a furry. And one of the best fighters. I think they're the best at Dragon Ball and I want to say Mortal Kombat 11.
That's got to get in your head, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're sitting there,
losing
like
to a
you're.
furry?
Well, no. I mean, like, you're sitting there, like, ready to like game up, and you look over, and the other guy's wearing just a full-on fursuit. Like, that would intimidate the fuck out of me. I'm like, it's like Shane Gillis' joke about the general that like dresses up as a dog or whatever. Like, that's terrifying. I would be terrified.
I can admit, like, I never want to see Sonic Fox in anything.
I think it's because, like, I can't see his eyes. Like, if I could see his eyes, I would be fine, but not seeing them just is, like, a whole new level. I think it's, like, a instinctual thing that comes with that.
That most certainly is it. Like, those dormant eyes.
Oh, those
eyes.
white, coldless eyes looking at you as they
Like
fucking just power move you across the screen.
Even worse, if they're not looking dead at you, the head is moving.
Oh, dude, if he had the
just
head turned towards you while he's playing, like he's got extra eye slits hidden into the side.
Like, that would be the best psych out move. And the craziest thing is, I think that would actually be allowed because there's no rules that say, oh yeah, you can't wear the fursuit. Which is how they get away with it. There's no rules against it.
Not in the rule book. Doesn't count. What, are you going to discriminate me because I'm a furry?
Like, that alone is why I never want to see Sonic Fox in anything. I'll let them beat my ass. They just can't be in the fursuit.
Charlie, real quick. Have you know the story of Injustice, right?
What do you mean the story? Like, I know
Like,
what it is.
Like, you know what happens in it, or?
A little, I mean, somewhat. I used to know it a lot better. I have seen it. I just don't. It's been so long.
So, like, you get the premise is like, you know, Joker makes Superman kill Lois. She's
Yeah.
pregnant, and then he kind of turns into a dictator.
Yeah.
And boom, we have the game.
I like how it kind of just turns into a dictator.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
like
it's a
crazy
slow.
Saturday
It's a
night.
slow slide because it's like takes 4 or 5 years for him to actually become a dictator.
Yeah, I've read the comics.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Sorry. But do you prefer that or Civil War?
He had to really think about
I
it.
think he's really thinking. He's
Are
considering.
you asking me?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, I
asking
thought
you.
you were asking Chris.
No, I'm asking you.
Ask it again.
All right. So
He wasn't
like in terms of like versus game, like not games versus situations, like where your heroes are like versus seeing each
Yeah.
other.
So Civil War, like
Civil
Captain
War?
America Civil War versus
No,
the
not
Injustice.
necessarily. Well, I guess like the premise of.
Would you be like you're asking more like the kickoff for the fight? Like what?
like
motivation-
which story's more compelling to you? I guess.
I feel like you're comparing what 5-hour game to a 2-hour movie.
Well, not necessarily.
And then you've also
not
gotta
necessarily the mediums, because like there's also a comic.
Yeah,
There's a comic.
like,
Let me
not
sit.
only
Let me
that-
sit up. Let me re-engage.
Yeah, not only that, you're factoring in. You got to
I'm dying
factor in the
over here.
build-up stuff in the comics to the movie.
Yeah, I definitely don't know nearly as much about Injustice as I do these Civil War, a lot of other things. Anyway, I'm not
But
well.
you know
read
the
on
premise.
it. Sure, I know the premise, but that's like.
But
fucking-
you also know the premise
I know
of
the
Civil War.
I know the premise of the what's of Captain America or the Civil War.
Like
what are we?
Civil War, like these, like Civil
Like
War,
the actual-
Like
American
the American
Civil
Civil
War?
War and
No.
Injustice.
No, like Captain America
I don't
Civil
know,
War.
man.
Like you
They
get
got
the
some
premise is
compelling
like
characters in that
superheroes
American
are
Civil
illegal
War.
now, or like they want the government to tell them where to go. So basically, superheroes are illegal now. Like having a secret identity is illegal as a conflict.
I know the premise of Watergate. I don't think it's comparable to fucking compare apples to oranges about things I don't really know a ton about. I mean, Chris is a better person to ask this to.
Well, you
He's
know
seen
what?
both of them.
I was
and
asking
enjoyed.
you because I thought you would have thoughts on it, but you know what? Fuck you.
You give a take, I will listen, and then I will re-engage. I was almost all the way asleep,
Okay.
so I definitely wasn't.
He's
I'm gonna
on,
sit up. I'm gonna read.
14 hours of sleep, or no, 14 hours without sleep, or no,
How 14 hours of sleep.
I'm like
across the
60
weekend?
hours deep of like 2 times sleeping for about 2 hours each time in 60 hours.
Yeah.
So like,
He's-
I'm tired. I'm gonna walk around, eat a snack.
we got muffins in there, man.
Oh, what kind of-
Homemade.
That's the worst thing for me to eat right now.
Oh,
What kind
Where's
of
the
muffins?
lights?
they're homemade Nutella muffins.
No way. No.
They're on the corner.
Okay,
Yeah.
ask me the question.
All right. So, well, I'll wait till you get back because, like, I don't want to ask it and then you answer and you're like all the way over there because
All
this
right, go
this
ahead.
is a phone. This isn't like
Okay, go
surround microphones everywhere. All right. So the question is, in terms of like hero versus hero conflict, do you prefer Civil War or do you prefer Injustice?
Okay, I'm gonna say.
Like, which one's better?
Okay, are you asking me about like the Civil War comic or the movie? Because I could actually give you.
I like. Let's just stick at the comics because I feel like they're both have their mediums.
Okay.
Even though one is a not comparison. What's the word I'm looking for?
Compare and contrast.
No. It goes with the game. It's companion piece. Companion piece.
Okay.
You can bring that in here, Chris. I was
I
gonna
only
go.
wanted the one.
Oh, I was gonna get one.
Oh,
That's all right then.
here you go. Just edit this part out.
Yeah, we'll just edit this out. This is the muffin break part of the cast.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Okay. In terms of story, I'll say I think the comic version of Civil War kind of wins out.
Yeah, Troy's getting a bunch of MREs.
I think the comic version of Civil War kind of wins out in that regard, but I also think the general plotline of Injustice is kind of just a way worse version of Kingdom Come.
Okay, I can see that. I never read Kingdom Come all the way through.
How are you the DC guy and you haven't read Kingdom Come all the way through?
I've tried to read Kingdom Come. I couldn't get into it. I need to go back and read it. I don't know, for whatever reason I wasn't feeling it. I tried listening to it. I tried reading the actual book. I tried watching a motion comic about it. Like, it just was not, it didn't grab me. I need it to grab me.
Okay. I understand. The Kingdom Come and speak, though.
Maybe.
We made a mistake and all of us started eating something at the same time.
Yeah. While we're trying to have a deep discussion about comic book genres.
But, yeah, I would say Civil War is a better told story, even though I don't like it that much as a comic book. I'll say this. I think Injustice is one of those things if you decide to get into the Injustice comics, you're more doing it for the spectacle. Whereas I think Civil War is a better told story. Not that I think the story of Civil War is great. I just think it's better told.
I got you.
In terms of comparing it to... In regards to Injustice's story itself, I think it has a lot of problems in the sense that this kind of relies on you only thinking Superman is the most powerful character to ever exist. There are so many characters in the DC universe who would wash Superman that this story doesn't work. Like, that's the main issue.
I guess. I mean, but like the comic kind of deals with that in like the ways that because he kind of goes to war at one point with the Green Lantern Corps.
You're right, but the thing
He
is,
can't just like fly around and wipe them out. Like it does take time for him to do what he's trying to do.
yeah, but the thing about that is because of how the comics are so beholden to the game story, they can't do too much. And also, they have to try and conform to, oh wait, Superman wins, we can't do too much, he has to win.
Yeah.
Which leads to a lot of ridiculous stuff in those comics.
Yeah.
Which, that's really my big problem with Injustice, is I just don't think the story is that good. I think the story is arguably worse in Injustice 2.
Yeah, no, that story is, I mean, it's not ass. It's just, like, kind of mid when you come from, like, something, like, that's more peak, like, the first Injustice.
Yeah.
Like, you're comparing kind of, like, the highest highs to, like, halfway down the mountain. I would really like to see a third game. I think they could do a solid trilogy.
Yeah.
But they have to really, like, make it worth, like, our time. It can't be just, like, what feels like a filler story.
That's why I'm surprised it's taken so long. I expected a third Injustice game by now.
Yeah.
But I figured that Warner Brothers and, NetherRealms is so wrapped up in Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
and trying to fix whatever dumpster fire they created with that game.
Yeah.
Which, I'm going to explain one of the biggest problems with Mortal Kombat is the fact that anyone can die in these games, but they've got a competitive scene so nobody can really stay dead.
Mm.
Like, say your main got killed in the story. Don't worry. Time travel exists. They can come right back.
Yeah, so it's kind of like beholden to the whole, like, well, no, people die, but nobody actually is dead.
Yeah.
It's like the thing with comics. Like, nobody wants to see their favorite character just dead forever. They might be gone for a while, but they get better.
Yeah. But
Or get rewritten.
Or get rewritten.
Their whole universe gets reestablished.
Or,
That's only happened twice.
Or,
only twice.
or they become a woman of mixed race.
That's only happened twice.
To each of our favorite characters.
I can't believe, like, we've gone this long and not had them try to change mainline Batman or mainline Superman.
That happened.
Yeah, kind of, but not really. Like, it wasn't, like, mainline.
No, that happened mainline.
Who? When? Where?
Like 2 years ago, they had a black Batman running around. No one gave a shit. Exactly.
Yeah, but, like, was it Bruce Wayne?
No.
Like, they made Bruce Wayne black?
Oh, wait. You mean as in they made the change to the ethnicity?
Yeah, like, it's still
Oh,
Bruce
okay.
Wayne, but
Nah,
it's
it was
like...
Bruce Ellis.
Yeah. Like, it's still Bruce Wayne, but he's just, like, black now, or, like, he's a
No,
woman now, you know?
No. They
pretending
they
to
made
be
a whole
man.
It was Bruce Wayne.
Like, it's like a woman in drag. I always thought
sorry.
that, I know Batwoman was not bold or creative enough to do it. Like, the show, sorry, not the characters, the show.
Yeah.
Batwoman, the show was not
Good
bold
job.
enough
Good
or
job. That was
creative
about to
enough
get.
to do it.
You were about to get.
But,
attacked.
like, I thought it would have been a fun idea if, like, what's her name, just came out and, like, was pretending to be Batman, but she was a woman. So it's like, cross-dressing, but not really.
See, my thing with Batwoman is they recasted her. They introduced a whole new character. She's a black woman to be Batwoman.
Yeah.
Because the
other girl was throwing a bitch, like, fit over the show. And,
Yeah,
like,
that's-
like, had a high sense of self-importance.
Yeah. My thing was they got Hush in that show. They could have just said she's still what's her name, Kate Kane. Just say she had a negroplasty.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't have done that.
That would've-
This was like right after COVID, like
Exactly. They should have owned up to it.
We were already like on edge as a society, and also with all the stuff going on with like police
on
brutality.
edge as a society.
Yeah,
like
that's
you
why
had
they should've
George
did it.
Floyd and all that stuff going on
To
at
be
the same
fair,
time.
it probably
like-
would have saved Batwoman. More people would have watched it if they're like, "Hey, did y'all hear? She's black now, but it's not a different character. It's just her. She had a negroplasty." And they could have did it. Hush is in that show. Hush's whole
Is he
thing
black in that show?
no.
Oh,
I mean, Hush's whole thing is that he's the best surgeon in the world. Like, that's why he even made his face look like Bruce Wayne's by carving up other people's faces.
He face offed him.
yeah.
Yes.
No, he did. That's the whole premise of Hush.
Okay, yeah. Hush's whole thing is that like
hilarious.
he'll take pieces from other people that look like Bruce's and put it on his face, so he could pretend to be Bruce Wayne.
He was also Bruce Wayne's childhood best friend.
Yeah, that was
Damn.
it was like the biggest. It was supposed to be a mystery in the Hush comics, but then you're like, this
Everybody
new
knew
character.
this new character that
character.
nobody's seen before.
Oh, I wonder who Hush is.
And then they fake killed him off.
And then-
The movie is actually does a better job with it. Not a huge fan of the movie, but like it does handle it better. Turns out it was just a Riddler. But they do actually kill like the new character off because like for a while you're like, oh, it's just gonna be that guy, but no, he is dead. Like he like is.
That reminds me of Captain America: Brave New World. How like the whole time you're watching the movie. Have you seen it yet, Chris?
I'm not gonna.
No.
I'm not gonna.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you know this.
He's
but-
sworn off Disney movies.
I don't know if you know this, but the Red Hulk is in it.
Man, shut up. That ain't true. That ain't true. Shut up.
Here's the thing. I went into this movie with very low expectations. My only thing I wanted out of it was I wanted Sam Wilson to be like, I needed to feel like he was Captain America. Mm-hmm. The movie didn't even have to be great. I didn't even need the like plot to be that compelling. I needed a Captain America. I needed Sam Wilson to be like a believable leader of the Avengers in the future.
Is he?
In my opinion, they nailed that.
Okay.
And honestly, the movie is not. It's very good. It's actually really. It was a very fun, very good movie. The
As good as Winter
CGI
Soldier?
is kind of not. I wouldn't say it's as good as Winter Soldier. But they're just so different.
Yeah.
This movie, like a lot of people are saying, this movie is just like The Incredible Hulk 2, and it really is. It basically is just a sequel to the 20-year-old Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton. But it's good.
No, I mean, this is how I found out that movie's 20 years old.
Or not quite 20. It's like
I know
it's
almost.
like 16 years
I
old
know,
now.
I know.
It's 3 years away from being 20.
Yeah, 17,
It's
16,
just that
17.
fact that got me. That
Yeah,
caught me off
that's
guard.
crazy.
But
But
it
it-
came out as the same year as first Iron Man.
Yeah, 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
But here's the
It's
thing.
just that shit caught me off guard.
The movie-
Realizing that.
If you somehow were able to avoid the ad campaign of the fact that the Red Hulk is like the big pull to the movie, the movie is shot and the movie is portrayed in a way where you're supposed to be surprised by the fact that Ross is Red Hulk.
Oh, it's one of those things where the trailers kind of just betrayed the
Well,
twist.
not just
They
the trailer.
they didn't just
but
betray the twist.
everything.
The poster, the fucking
The toys.
popcorn bucket, the cups that you
Like,
get your
you're not
drink in.
supposed to know.
You're not supposed to know. Like, and the thing is, if you don't know, say somehow you like
just didn't have
in
your
20
eyes
years,
closed.
in
as you
20
walked
years,
through
if
the
we're
movie.
showing our kids or our nieces or our nephews or whoever, if we're just watching the MCU with them little by little as like a you won't believe what we got to watch when we were kids situation.
I bet he's gonna be on the cover of the DVD though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it won't be DVDs; it'll all be streaming.
Well, it's
but if
cover
you
of
get to
whatever it
the
is.
exactly, he will be. If you could somehow hide that from them, they actually do a fucking awesome job. It's a really great setup for the twist. It's done really well in the context of if you don't already know.
You know what that
the
tells-
problem is. Everyone, motherfuckers are walking into the movie with a Red Hulk T-shirt on. Like everyone is going to see this movie for that because that's what the advertising. If they had made it, this movie has so much espionage. It has a very good mystery to it. The other bad guy, who I'm not going to say, there is another bad guy. Like the Red Hulk isn't even the bad guy. He's actually really more like the anti-hero character. Ross is the most compelling, like
Is the other
lovable
bad guy at least
character.
Another like Hulk villain.
It is.
Or,
Yeah, it is.
It's another.
Wait,
fight.
do you
It's
wanna-
literally the Hulk.
Do you guys want to talk about the like without or with spoilers? I mean,
Well, we basically
And I'm not
are.
gonna
we
watch
can.
the movie.
We
I mean,
can.
It's-
like
it's-
movie
Like I told you,
protecting
it's
it. Oh wait! Spoiler alert for those
I don't
of
know
you
if
that
I
haven't
told you
seen
Sure,
it.
anybody
Spoiler
who
alert.
does care.
Skip to
I don't know
like
if I told
a couple,
you that.
15 more seconds. Hold on.
I don't know if I told you, but Fantastic Four is going to be the make or break for Marvel.
Yeah,
movies for
I
me.
agree. I think that's going to be
Like, if it-
that's going to be the very definitive. What's his name? I can't remember.
Pedro Pascal.
No, the fucking bad guy, man. What?
Now go ahead. The
Galactus.
leader.
Just say
the
it.
leader.
Okay, leader.
The leader.
The brain guy.
They brought that guy back. But he's
leader?
cast as
From-
Edward Norton. No, just kidding.
No, that's what.
That would be incredible.
It's the same guy who plays him
Oh,
in
from,
the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, the guy
What's
from
his name?
Holes.
Fucking.
Yeah, he's in
shit.
Holes. He's in a lot. Of
He's
stuff.
also in. He's
I know
Buster
you're talking about. I
Scruggs.
just can't think of the dude's name.
He was
but I know-
supposed to be in Dune Part 2, but his scene got cut.
Oh,
Apparently, it was really good too.
Is he gonna be in Dune Part 3?
I know who he is. I just can't think of his name.
I know what he looks like.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
So his character and his like what's the word
arc.
Well, not his arc, but his.
Wait a minute. Did
The
he become the
surprise-
leader 20 years ago in the
He
Hulk?
did. He did.
Yes.
And they just not showed
They
this?
Yeah.
just brought him back.
So this is where he's been at all this time. Apparently, he's
Chilling?
So
Ross put him
took
in a cave.
for 20 years.
But the box of scraps.
And
He put
made
him in a
him-
cave and just made him like keep him alive and,
And
work
make
on
things for him.
and make stuff. Yeah,
With
he's,
gamma
just, he's
radiation.
been like a sneaky, weird little gamma ray doctor for
Oh
Thunderbolt
no, he
Ross
made him
this
run
whole time.
statistics for him because like he was
Among
really
other
good.
things, you
Yeah.
didn't watch it. Stop
No,
acting like you know what
no, but
happened.
So
I
it's
mean,
like
like-
fucking Minority Report?
Sort of,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So, anyways, like
He's
Ross
got him in a
develops
fucking
heart
hole.
condition, and he has the leader cure it for him with these red pills. But those red
And-
pills are secretly turning him into the red hole.
Here's the best part. They've been foreshadowing this for like 20 movies. Every time Thunderbolt Ross gets like brought up, there's a little like he's like fucking taking a pill. He's doing something. And like before it was Harrison Ford, when it was the old guy
Oh,
that
William
died.
Hurt?
Yeah, William Hurt died before they got to this movie. And he's been
Unfortunately.
Thunderbolt. Unfortunately,
Rest
he's
in
been
peace.
Thunderbolt Ross. You know, in the Avengers movies,
Yeah.
in Civil War, and all this. Like the whole MCU, this guy's been. He was in Black Widow. She like totally name drops the fact that he's dealing with a heart condition in the movie. Like it's they've been setting this up for like fucking 8 or 9 years, which
It
was
just-
8 or 9 years after the initial setup of Thunderbolt Ross being in the
And the
first
leader.
MCU
So
movie.
it took them paying off a Hulk character's arc in a fucking Captain America movie?
And a recasting of the one of the main characters being Harrison Ford.
Hey, no, I can let that slide. I let Don Cheadle play War Machine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can let that slide. They ain't even the same type of black. That always bothered me. They're not- you couldn't at least find another light skinned brother. Just Don Cheadle.
What's his name?
Who could have
Cuba
been-
Gooding Jr. was right there.
Yeah,
No.
like actually.
No. Now when you
But
know
he-
the stuff behind the scenes about Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh
No.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I'm just saying at that time, like
Who's
you know,
another light skinned guy who could have done it? Like
Fuck, I don't know.
Drake.
man.
Imagine they
Oh my
Drake
God,
as-
bro.
as War Machine.
Certified War Machine, certified pet.
God, I wish
Say
we was here for that.
Rolly.
Say Rhodey.
Heard you like him young. Did you know they were actually considering making a Teen Titans movie and casting Drake as Cyborg?
That's so silly.
That would have been
Like
so
on
good.
paper, they considered it. They even had concept art ready.
That might have been the best one. That might have
was
been
Millie
the best
Bobby
version.
Brown gonna be?
I don't. Yeah, she can play. She can
She's-
play Starfire.
If,
Yeah.
Nah, if Millie Bobby,
She's
she would-
Raven.
I was gonna say she would have to be Raven.
Yeah.
She's,
I know,
She's
but-
Well,
got the movie.
I think
Look,
she
Drake
could do
is
that.
miscast. Let her be Starfire.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
Actually, they're
hell,
gonna get-
fuck it. If we're miscasting, let her be Beast Boy. Like, why not?
Don Cheadle is actually going to come in and replace Drake like halfway through. And then
no.
Ashton Kutcher will come in and replace Robin.
Oh my god.
I firmly believe maybe 20 years ago, Ashton Kutcher could have been a decent Dick Grayson. 20 years ago.
Yeah, they really missed the opportunity to have him and George Clooney do Batman and Robin.
He could be a decent Green Lantern now, as a 40.
He would have to
something
be
year old.
not Guy Gardner. What's the other one?
The one with
Kyle
the floppy
Rayner?
hair.
Kyle Rayner. Yep.
Who's the one with the floppy hair? Is that guy?
Yeah, that's got
Yeah.
That's guy.
That's
He
Guy.
could have been a guy.
He's really excited about Guy.
I'm really
And he has
excited
no
about
idea
Nathan
who- like, what-
certified Guy Gardner fan.
Not even Guy Gardner. I really I fuck with Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
I like Nathan Fillion.
He
a
knows
lot.
nothing about Guy Gardner. I was like, listen, you're in for a treat. This man is a menace.
His most iconic moment in the comics is getting Batman to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
And everyone, even in continuity, straight up talks about it. Superman is like, you can't just punch him. And then he's like, did it feel good though? Like, and he's like, can you reenact the punch?
Where'd my water bottle go?
He's going to use his ring to
Oh,
recreate the punch.
stop pushing my water
Well,
bottle.
no, I'm
away.
trying to talk and I don't want to sound like
Yeah,
a
like
whore.
the whole time. Everyone's like, yeah, Diana even sent the facts of it. Like, Black Canary sent the facts. Yeah, like, everyone talks about it. It's the most hyped up thing.
I'm really excited for the state of DC. I think that we're on the cusp of like
We're on the
greatness.
cusp of greatness.
We're this close.
We're this close.
We're-
Creighton,
we
did
are
you watch
currently-
Creature Commandos?
No, not
you
yet.
didn't.
I'm holding back. I'm
I'm
holding
so-
back.
What do you mean holding back?
I'm holding back.
The whole show
I've been focused
is
on
done.
other things.
It's only like 8
I
episodes.
saw Batman's in it. That got me excited.
It took
He's
16
like a
years, but I
cameo.
finally have not watched like 3 MCU things in a row.
What
proud of
thing?
you.
I'm like missing. I didn't watch the Agatha All Along show. I didn't
forgot
watch.
about
I heard it
the
was
Spider-Man. I've heard.
I've actually watched
I've
the
heard it's
Spider-Man
either really great or really bad, depending on
You
your
watched the
take.
Spider-Man?
I watched the Spider.
How was
Is it
that?
good?
I think it's mid.
Okay.
As-
That
But you're a
means-
hardcore
I was
Spider-Man.
gonna say
Okay,
that
look,
means it's
look.
probably really good to a normal person.
Okay. If
You're
you
meant
want,
to
I
represent-
can go into the Spider-Man autism.
Don't even say. Don't
nope.
say too much. I don't want to talk too much
I'm
about it.
not-
I do intend to. watch.
Okay,
Look-
do like your best spoiler-free rant.
Okay, I fucking hate the costume. I hate that costume.
It's the most autistic thing.
He's
to
going
me.
Let me explain. I actually wrote it down.
He's going into a
Hang on.
Kendrick rant
wrote
about
it
this
down?
costume.
I wrote this shit down.
He's like, hey, Peter.
I wrote down all my problems with this costume.
Hey, Uncle Ben.
I hear you like shitty costumes.
Oh, Benny! Heard you like shitty costumes, Ben.
Green Goblin. Mustard instead of mustard.
Did they really? Did they make Green Goblin black?
Yeah, they did.
I thought that was like a fan made thing.
No,
I was like looking at it, I was like, yeah, the rolls do look better. Like,
I can pull up.
and then
my-
I saw like because isn't Hobgoblin's a woman now?
No.
No?
Where
guys
are
see
you
they-
getting that?
No.
This is a deep left turn subject change. Did you guys see that they casted the guy who's playing Snape in the HBO Harry Potter as the
Yeah.
black dude?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny. Of all the here's my thing. Of all the characters that you could cast as something very different for whatever reason the reason is, because I haven't looked. All I've seen is the internet rage.
Yeah.
The
Well, they haven't really
Snape
seen
can't
anything.
be a black guy. I'm like, okay. I mean, make an argument. I'll read it, but I'm like, all I've seen is I don't want my Snape being a black dude. Like, it's not any. There's no reason
Snape
people are
black
giving.
in
Somewhere
Trump's
that's the most
America?
Yeah, basically.
Somewhere the most countrified white dude is like a huge Harry Potter head.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, listen, where we live at, that's not exactly untrue.
You know what?
Like,
That's a fair point, also,
That's true.
because someone else got cast. Someone got cast as a different character, and someone made an argument as to why that person should. I can't remember who it was, but I remember seeing that and being like, if they could be this well thought out about this, there's got to be someone out there who has an actual reason that they don't want the black dude to be Snape. And because I read the books, it doesn't really matter if he's black or white. There are other black characters that guy could have played in Harry Potter
Yeah,
lore.
but they'd had probably one line.
Yeah.
I never forgot Kingsley Shacklebolt.
Well, he's a bigger character in the
I
books.
know, but he's a black man with the name Kingsley Shacklebolt.
True.
Shacklebolts.
That is kind of wild. That is a wild name.
That's one of those things I never forgot, that one of the bigger black characters is named
J.K.
Kingsley
Rowling was like, no,
Shacklebolt.
he's black. Like,
This guy's definitely. You see his name?
Yeah.
Clearly. This
Shacklebolt.
guy's-
They're like, Miss Rowling, they don't do that anymore. It's like, really?
That's
Are you
crazy.
sure?
I haven't seen a black guy in 20 years.
They don't wear shackles?
The only thing, I'm not bummed that it's a black guy. I'm bummed that it isn't Adam Driver. That's
Yeah,
really my
no,
only.
I agree,
Of all
yeah.
the fan castings that I saw, I was like, bro, if they could look, if a quarter of your budget goes into nailing down Adam Driver for 8 seasons, you did it. You got away with fucking highway robbery if you could somehow convince Adam Driver to come be Snape for the entirety of an HBO show.
Here's what I think the thing is, the idea behind the casting is they're trying to get as far away from Alan Rickman as possible. Not because he's a bad Snape, but because they want to separate themselves from the movies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. The chick that they got to play Miss McGonagall's unbelievable.
Did they go like a young hot lady?
Not like young. I mean, she's
Like
probably
a
in her
gilf?
Is
50s.
she a gilf? Is
She's.
she like a cougar?
Did you watch
The
Mindhunter?
Crown? Yeah, no.
Oh,
I've
it's-
seen Criminal Minds though.
That's
Basically.
not.
That is not
It's
relevant.
not even sort of the same thing.
Yeah,
That's
but they're both about
They've
BAU,
got
right?
the word minds in it. It's the same.
Yeah, they have the
They're
same-
both-
yeah.
they're both about
Minds,
the
they were on
BAU, right?
TV.
About what?
The behavioral analysis unit.
I don't know. I never watched Criminal Minds. The Mindhunter is I guess if it's about behavioral whatever, that's half of serial killer shows.
Yeah.
This is about the
Forming of that,
The exact
right?
true
Like,
story
the
of the-
theory of it and
the guy
everything,
who
and
came up
yeah.
with behavioral
Oh,
yeah
psychology
So-
and dissecting the patterns that serial killers use.
Criminal
to pick their victims.
Minds, even though it's in a direct continuation, is like
A
Part-
continuation
It's
No,
not
I'm
a
saying-
continuation at all.
of what?
He's talking about Mindhunters.
Oh,
no, no,
okay.
no,
The
I'm-
show on Netflix. It's 2 seasons and it came out a few
Well, no,
years
no, that's
ago.
what I'm saying.
It's
I'm not-
way
it's
way
not a-
newer
yeah,
than
yeah.
Criminal Minds.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's a continuation or whatever. What I'm getting at is it's that idea, but a show about it before there was a show about the history of that. If that makes sense.
It's the
Like
true
if
story of how it
Mindhunters
happened.
is the true story.
Yeah.
Criminal Minds is like the
CSI version.
This man is
The-
setting up an expanded universe.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to do.
What's the?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
the
matter. The
caricature
woman
of it.
the woman is Miss McGonagall. The woman is Professor
Is she the
McGonagall.
serial killer?
No, she's one of the people. She's one of the people
I'm
that.
surprised you don't just have a bell, and we're getting off topic.
Yeah,
for
I
you.
tried. It's hard. He just keeps going sometimes. He'll
What
like roll
episode-
over what you're saying and continue his
What
thing.
episode of Criminal Minds is she on?
She's not in Criminal Minds. You fucking piece of shit.
Anyways, what she look like? Somebody pull up a picture. I want to see. We need to judge and see if she's a.
I might be wrong. It might not even be her.
Let me look up the white lady from Mindhunter.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna.
Jamie,
look at the casting for-
pull it up, Jamie. Who's the new Miss McGonagall? Who's playing Professor McGonagall?
Sorry, I didn't mean to flash my belly.
It's
My,
okay. What you looking at my
my
gut for?
You gotta watch
Professor
Trailer Park
McGonagall?
Boys. You would hate it, but like you would love it.
I love it
Janet?
because it's just Ed, Ed and Eddie in real life.
Yeah, no, it really is. That's like the best, and it's still going. Like the crazy. That's
Wait,
the
it's
crazy
still
part.
going?
Yeah, they make
didn't-
specials and things
I didn't
all
know
the
it was still
time.
going.
Like Netflix is really like. Not only are they milking Netflix, but Netflix is milking them. It's like a cycle.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Good for them.
I think those guys. Like I saw a thing where Ricky was doing something the other day. I was like, "Oh my god, he's old as shit now." Like I thought it was a filter, but it's just they've been doing this for like almost 30 years.
Yeah. I remember Trailer Park Boys came out in the 90s.
There's also video games, merch.
okay, I know
you
about
know.
it.
They've
I'll-
really franchised like this very small like like it would be like if Shirts Off became like a franchise. Like
It's peak fiction. Also, I found my Spider-Man suit right. Here we go.
all right, you got it.
All right.
Go ahead while he's looking up the
So
label.
here's what I said. The suit is near perfect, especially for a teenage Spider-Man, which is why I also hate it. Let's start with the head. I like I don't like the addition of the MCU lenses, and they haven't added detail as a way to express like how he
You
is.
talking about the goggles?
Yeah, I never liked that, especially in animation. It's a cartoon. It's an unnecessary detail. It'd be like if a Batman cartoon tried to explain how his eyes are white by doing
Yeah.
the BVS thing by saying they light up. The addition of the lines in the blue areas are pointless. I dislike it on the Civil War suit. I don't like it on the Homecoming suit.
Oh, yeah, she is
Which
hot.
Oh yeah, that's a gilf if I've ever seen one.
So it's Janet McTeer. She's not the person from Mindhunter. It's
Damn,
she's
you
the
racist.
lawyer. She's the lawyer in Ozark,
Damn, I can't believe you're racist.
among many other roles. But
Is
that
she-
is
All old
Criminal
white
Minds.
women look the same to you?
yes.
Yeah, me too.
No, but all white people just look the same to me.
Yeah,
I don't
me
even know
too.
who's here right. If he hadn't said like used words, I would not know which white person is that first.
Okay, what was I? I dislike the lines on the suit. They don't add anything. Not that they add anything to the live action suit. Okay, I don't like the exposed web shooters. I never liked that. I only really liked it on the first TASM suit, like the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit. I liked it there, but that's because they were small. They were compact.
And that was like his first suit.
Exactly. That was his first suit.
And I think they're gone in the second one.
They're still small. They're still there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You notice this when you have the Spider-Man suit autism, Creighton.
Okay.
All right.
I would probably notice
It's
that
true.
I have the same thing going on with my bat suits. Like I
Exactly.
notice every little detail. I'm like, that's weird or that's perfect.
See, that's why I brought up
Because
that
you
Batman.
drew them so many times as a kid.
I really have mixed feelings about Batman's Batarang also being like his emblem, like from the Batman.
Oh, yeah.
And it's apparently also the gun that killed his parents.
Yeah.
This seems so unnecessary. It's like, why are you adding all this stuff to a Batarang? It's a Batarang.
Well, you say that, but it's all supposed. It's not. It's left ambiguous.
It would be like if the web shooters were made out of the gun that killed Uncle Ben. Like, why?
That's not what it would be like.
It would be exactly like that.
No, because one's a symbol. One represents something. The other are
Okay.
just a
It
utilitarian
would be like if
tool.
the spider on Peter's chest was made out of the gun that killed Uncle Ben.
All right. What was I even got into the detail of the boot shape, and I don't like those. But what I hate the most is this fucking tick they got on his chest. Look at that. That's supposed to be the back spider, except they simplified it and made it smaller. That is not a spider. That's a tick. That is a tick on his chest.
That looks like they're trying to do, the old comics. They didn't know what they were doing, so just kind of
See-
scribbled something.
Here's the thing, though. That made sense back then. That was when Steve Ditko was still getting a feel for the character. Here, this makes no sense. This is just a tick on his chest. Or, and to get back into fighting games, to
You
get back,
thought we left it.
you thought now that you guys have brought up Spider-Man, I can bring up Spider-Man in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. His suit in those games is orange. It's
What?
like- yeah, it's a weird orange. I love those games. I love how Spider-Man is represented, but his suit has like an orange tint. Let me see if I can Marvel vs. Capcom Spider-Man, because like his suit is orange and it bothers me, and I don't know how to
How to express?
yeah, like just so you guys see what I mean. This it's fucking orange. It is. It's,
That's an orange Spider-Man. I don't
That's
fuck with it at all.
Spider-Man.
that one on the top
That
left.
looks like somebody left the comic book out in the
Yeah.
sun for too
No,
long.
for real, I thought when I first played Marvel vs. Capcom with him at Abari, I thought the game was just old. Because all the color, all the reds looked like that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, that's just how the game's always been.
That's
And
just
I was
how it
like,
looks.
what? Could you imagine buying this game on day one and it looks old as fuck?
Oh yeah,
Not
I mean,
on
if
purpose?
that's the mission.
well, remember,
though.
you were seeing it on a CRT television back then, not blown up in your face like that. and,
what she said.
and also that one right there, that's the default Spider-Man look in these games. That one at the top right.
I don't
Okay.
like it.
So anytime I have to play Spider-Man in those games, I go for that middle costume. And because of my good buddy Hack, who also plays fighting games, I went to Evo with him. He calls that middle like costume here biblically accurate Spider-Man. Like, yeah, we're gonna go biblically accurate Spider-Man.
So, what do you think of the PS4 Spider-Man games, since we're on the topic of Spider-Man and gaming?
I like the first game, and I think they're fun games. I just think the stories in the second one isn't that good.
So,
Like I actually, let me tell you, I actually went from being a Miles Morales hater to actually liking him in the Miles Morales game.
really?
Yeah, that version of Miles Morales actually turned me around on the game.
You hated him even after the Across the Spider-Verse and
If
Into the
anything,
Spider-Verse.
I hated him more because of that. I
You
hated
want to
him more.
explain yourself a little for the uninitiated?
Okay, the canon event thing is stupid.
Jesus Christ.
The idea of it is dumb. It's not like the what is it, anchor being thing in Deadpool and Wolverine where it's clearly a meta joke. It's still a joke here, but here it's just stupid.
Like,
Also-
they take it too seriously.
Exactly. And the idea of having someone like Miguel O'Hara used as a straw man to basically say everything that Marvel editorial or even fans on the internet has to say about Miles is kind of stupid. That's another issue I have with that movie overall.
So you hate that Miguel represents you?
No, Miguel does not represent me.
That's not what he said at all.
Well, no. It just sounded like because he was like, because you were like, I hate Miles Morales for a while, and then like Miguel's just like, Miles, you're not even a real Spider-Man.
No, I hate Miles because I think he's boring. My hatred
Dude,
is
could you
different.
imagine Miguel's like, you're boring, Miles. Not
gotta
even
get
not even a canon traumatic event. Like the fuck.
You got to get out of here. You're not Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No,
You're not traumatic
boring.
enough.
You're boring. We got one black Spider-Man running around. We can't have two. Sorry. I'm just going to say it. I'm racist. Get out. But, like, that's my biggest issue with that movie is the fact that they used the canon event thing to try to be a straw man for basically the problems people have with Marvel editorial. That's my big issue.
So is Miguel like that? I haven't read
No.
a lot of Spider-Man 2099. So Miguel's just not like that.
He's not like... Nobody in that movie is like that.
Okay, because like I was thinking about like the whole time I was watching him with the fangs and stuff and getting all weird. I was thinking about the
But no... Okay, that's
the
a thing. That
interdimensional
is a thing.
vampires. I was thinking about the interdimensional vampires.
Okay, I'll tell you, Miguel does have fangs, but that's because he became Spider-Man a different way. His DNA got genetically spliced with the spider. And he did that because he was recovering from drug addiction.
That's racist.
No, it's not.
Well, no,
He's-
it's 2099.
yeah, it's 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was on future drugs and they had to splice him with the spider.
Racism as a concept doesn't even exist in 2099.
I don't think that's true.
They're like,
But-
what?
I'm just gonna make a guess.
They're like
That,
racism? How archaic.
But
yeah, that's what they were saying in 1862.
But yeah, I do think the Spider-Man games are fun. I only just recently played Spider-Man 2 because it came to PC last month. And I thought the story was pretty bad, but I still like it. I still think it's a fun game.
They're like,
The
I get
story
to
is
swing
just
on
bad.
buildings, but God, this story.
Yeah, that's really it. There's a whole scene in that game where you have to recover a guy's pigeons and send them somewhere else, and they play the most god awful song I've ever heard. It is genuinely an awful song.
Is it the score of the game or is it
No,
like
no,
a song?
It's like I think it's some
It's
indie.
just like a random song for that mission.
Yeah, it's
in
just a
particular.
random song for that song for
It's
that
like
scene
they're
in
trying to
particular.
capture the energy of
capturing pigeons.
Yeah,
well, not just that, but I mean like the
no, you're
left
taking
hand
the
free.
pigeons and sitting them somewhere they could be free.
You know,
and
when
it is the
Spy-
most awful song I've ever heard.
Sounds like a pretty shitty
And
mission.
I'm
Also.
and like the whole time, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna turn down the volume.
This is
here.
like some Witcher 3, like, here, your frying pan type shit. Like, what are these side quests that you're going and catching pigeons
Well, it
as
sounds-
Spider-Man?
It sounds to me like,
Like, is Kingpin, like, bored? Like, is anybody else doing anything that day?
It's one of those like the Spider-Man games give you a bunch of side missions to pad out the time,
Yeah.
and one of those is helping a guy find his pigeon's new home. And basically, Peter's like, "Okay, I'm gonna take you near the park where I live. Let's go, pigeons." And then it plays the most god awful guitar song I've ever heard in my life, and it's supposed to be all nice, like cheery and free, and it sounds
Yeah.
horrible. It sounds genuinely awful.
it sounds to me like it's trying to recapture the energy of when like you meet Peter in Civil War, like they play Left Hand Free by Aunt Shay to like capture like, oh, it's a fun teen spirit.
This guy collects DVDs.
Yeah.
DVD.
This guy's quirky.
Yeah, he
He's
grabs
14, but
VCRs
he's
out of the
quirky.
trash and
Yeah,
fixes them.
Yeah.
Also, they say Pete so much in that second Spider-Man game that it doesn't even sound like a word anymore.
I hate
Like,
when that
there's
happens.
literally a scene where they're like, well, Pete wasn't Pete. And I think I was like 15 hours into the game, and I was like, oh shit, that's somebody's name.
That is Spider-Man's name.
Yeah, like, I was like, oh shit,
He's
that's
the
who
Spider-Man.
I was like, oh, Pete is Spider-Man.
That's the guy I've been doing this with. the
Yeah,
whole
like,
time.
it's a whole scene, and I was like, they say it's so much that I just lost track.
So like
I hate when an adaptation is. The problem is I see it from both sides. I hate when an adaptation is not incredibly sincere to what they're trying to adapt, but at the same time I understand that there are times that you don't need to adapt every single specific detail exactly because it just won't make sense on like television or on a movie as the adaptation. Like right now it's happening with The Last of Us. The bad guy in The Last of Us season 2 on HBO, her name is Abby. In the game,
Oh, yeah.
she's ripped. She's fucking.
oh, and they
she's,
casted like this skinny little white girl to play her.
yeah, well, Caitlin Dever. She's a great actress, and
Yeah.
I think she'll do a good
But
job.
she
But
needs to get built.
no, she doesn't. The thing is, in the game, because you're playing as the character, and because of what you have to do as the character for the chunk that you play her as, like, it makes sense based on her story, based on who she's around, and based on how she came up in this apocalypse in the way that you're being shown it, that she would be ripped. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
In the story they're going to tell on the show, it's not as creatively important that she's ripped. She doesn't have to be ripped to tell the story they're going to tell
Yeah.
the way they're going to tell it. It's still the same story, supposedly. There's going to be some things changed, but the narrative can be effectively the same without her being absolutely jacked.
I think they should have just pasted her face over Chris Hemsworth's body.
Okay. I mean, honestly, that is not a terrible representation of how strong she is in the game. She is absurd.
Yeah.
She's more ripped than most men would
She's
be.
a
Like,
beefcake.
She's Zarya from Overwatch. I mean,
Oh,
she's
no,
like
I've
My
seen-
dad
I've seen
would
it, but,
lose his gourd over her.
I was like, damn, she been eating just what has she been eating in the apocalypse? She been gathering up maggots and
Nothing
shit.
but-
They
but
show it
protein.
like they just have a giant farm and they eat the fuck out of food. They got a ton of food. They got meat. They got protein for days. This bitch is eating beef burritos up the wim every day. They got plenty of food.
She's the only one though. Like
Everyone's ripped. Everyone in their
Everyone's
community.
ripped?
Yes, everyone in their community
I
is
didn't
ripped.
see that.
But you didn't watch the game.
Yeah.
He was
True.
half watching it.
Yeah.
He didn't. He watched a YouTube video. He doesn't pay attention to things. He doesn't pay attention to the little details. He
By
only
the way,
pays attention
this
to
man
the
has
overarching.
played Last of Us Part 2 like probably the most out of anybody I've ever met.
Probably, yeah. Out of anyone you've met, for sure. I've probably watched. I've
Like, how
probably
many
played.
times do you think you've played?
I've played through both the first and second game in one go, probably 12 or 13
In
times.
fairness, that's how many times they re-release those games anyway.
Yeah, they do re-release. I've got every single re-release.
Naughty Dog only
so-
makes one game now.
No,
R.I.P. Jack and Daxter.
no, they made all
Or-
the Uncharted.
or Uncharted.
They're making
I said now.
now. They're making Intergalactic. The Heretic Prophet. It's a new space age game. I'm excited for it. It looks good.
Is it gonna play like Last of Us?
I don't know. They've released like a trailer.
No, I know. I've seen it. I've seen the Game Awards.
Yeah.
I watched it that one time.
So in the future, they'll just be fighting games, and whatever new version of Last of Us
Honestly,
and Skyrim comes on whatever.
The thing about fighting games,
GTA 5.
you can keep re-releasing a fighting game, dude. Like, I don't know if I've talked to you. The game you beat by is at Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
The
3.
fans of thank you. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. The fans have kept that game alive by modding the shit out of it. There's
Yeah.
a whole community mod that basically adds new characters.
That's pretty sick.
Like, I'm gonna show you the trailer real quick. I love it. It's how I've gotten into that game again. It's called the Community Edition. I'm in the Discord for it. Community Edition.
While we're talking about games being kept alive, all the remasters they've done of The Last of Us have always been worth spending money if
improved
you
it.
enjoy it.
First, Capcom and Marvel fans have joined forces once again to bring you back.
You should pause that and watch it after.
Yes.
And you describe what happens.
Yeah,
so
no,
that we're not
this is
just
a
listening
6-minute
on an
video.
audio
I know.
podcast.
Sorry.
I forgot.
And we'll just leave that,
yeah.
link that
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
people
You need
can
to,
watch
like,
it
link
and know
it
what you're
to-
talking about.
Okay, so basically for the Community Edition of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, they went and backported characters in like Ultron, Captain Marvel. We've also got Venom and Carnage.
They've
These
Marvel rivaled it. They're continually updating
Sort
it as
of,
it
yeah.
goes. But the fans are doing it,
yeah,
not
the
the
fans
game.
are doing it.
Yeah.
Like-
I was gonna say Rivals is like more like Overwatch than it is a fighting game though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just,
and
mean,
most of them
mean
are-
in the implication that they continually add characters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they added Doctor Strange's wife, Clea. They added a version of Jean Grey who doesn't turn into the Phoenix. They've also added who else? They added the Shocker as a playable character.
Not the shock.
The Shocker.
That's hilarious.
And he's also really great. But the thing about all these characters is they add them, but they're not balanced well. It's only after like a couple of more months that people are like, okay, this character's broken here. They added Cyclops in.
Was No Way Home before or after you decided to like exile Disney? Did you
think
watch?
Endgame
Did you
was
watch
it was
No Way
Endgame.
Home? So
Endgame
you haven't
was-
seen No Way Home?
I saw it on television. My rule isn't.
You're not going to go to the movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you'll watch it once it's at home.
If it's on
Yeah.
TV, I'll watch it.
Okay.
Like that's my rule for Marvel stuff.
So you have to have cable as part of it's kind of like you're losing money on
Were
this.
you happier with Jamie Foxx in No Way Home or in The Amazing Spider-Man?
I don't like nothing about No Way Home, bro.
Nothing at all.
I
really?
did not like that movie.
I didn't think
As
you
a,
would.
okay, let me put it like this: it was cool seeing Tobey Maguire and Doc Ock be like, "Oh man, it's so good to see you." Like seeing a teacher that you hadn't seen in all
Yeah.
those years. I like that. That's as far as that went. Because if you pay attention to how the characters act in that movie compared to how they act in like their original films,
Yeah.
it does not make sense.
Yeah.
Like Green Goblin's motivation does not make sense in that movie. Why does he want to stay in this universe with more heroes in it and no Oscorp?
Yeah.
Like, why is Sandman even? Why did Sandman suddenly decide? I guess I'm gonna go with them now. I'm suddenly evil now. Like, and also the whole thing with Ock's arms.
Because
that's
they
not
thought
other-
they were getting sent back to their deaths.
Okay,
That's
another
a
thing.
reasonable. That's definitely a reasonable for Sandman. Now I'm with you on Green Goblin. That's kind of murky. Like the idea that he's just kind of like it's a delusion,
Yeah.
and so he's being taken over by the Goblin. That is a little murky.
Also, that's
and-
not how that worked either. Even in those Raimi movies, it wasn't
I
like
know. Well, a
no,
little bit.
it was not like that. In the Raimi movies, it was like Norman was always a shitty person. The Goblin just amplified it. It wasn't even in the last moments
It's
where
like the
he's
Super Soldier Serum.
Yeah, even in the
Okay.
last moments where he's like, I had nothing to do with it. The Goblin killed. I didn't do that. The whole time he's planning to kill Peter.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a whole split personality. The Goblin was him. He just acted like it wasn't.
I think during the movie you're watching it and you're kind of like, is it split personality? And by the end of it, you realize it's not. It's just he's a shitty person.
Yeah, that's
It's one of those things like you can go back and watch it and be like, oh, this whole time he's just been playing not only everybody around him but us as the audience as well.
Yeah, that's like the main reason I don't like No Way Home, because it's like if somebody watched those movies years ago and they only vaguely remember details about it.
Yeah. Like,
Like-
they were like they got the lines and the memes.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm so
I saw a meme like a couple days ago on Twitter. It was like just throwing it out there. Green Goblin and Tobey Maguire do not interact in No Way Home at all at
Exactly.
one point.
That's another
at any
issue.
point in the whole film, and I was like, "Fuck, that is wild."
Yeah, it's like they've got everything there, but they don't push it far enough.
Yeah.
But like you
Well,
don't
you
notice
needed
it.
Peter to have a very specific bad guy.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, all of the Spider-Man MCU trilogy feels like an expanded origin trilogy, which that should not be the case. That absolutely should not be the case. The
But
whole
now we
point
get to
of
see
not-
what's going to happen next. You know.
Yeah, but do I really want to?
Well, I'm
I-
pretty sure he's going to be the big. There's like supposedly a mainline huge MCU character that's going to make a cameo in Daredevil. I feel like it's got to be at this point the
Doom?
Spider-Man. No, Spider-Man.
feel like-
It'll be Spider. They mentioned him in the show,
Oh yeah.
like
Really?
very,
I didn't
very
think they could
loosely.
do that. Like,
It very
like,
much in
do
the
they
way that
not-
Jessica Jones mentions the Hulk in the Marvel show,
Oh, when
where
they don't
she's like,
directly
"There's a
say
big
that.
green alien
Oh.
jumping across walls." Like they can't say him by name, but they talk about Spider-Man. Like they say the Spider or something. They say
Okay.
they say it very loosely.
Because I figured, like, with whatever weird ass deal they have, they can't directly say, "Oh yeah, Spider-Man's just around the corner."
Yeah,
Although he is in that movie, Daredevil is in No Way Home,
yeah.
which is
well,
wild.
that's different. That's
I like
Daredevil
that part
rights.
of No Way Home.
Huh?
I like that part of No Way
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah, that's a good
But-
part. That's a good universe.
I'm a really good lawyer. That you know what's really funny about this that the writing of that scene and just how good it really is.
Mm-hmm.
He's not saying he's a really good lawyer because he's Daredevil. He's saying he's a really good lawyer because he's a defense attorney and he stopped Peter from getting hit in the head with a brick. Like it's
like legally he stops.
legally he
Yeah.
stops him from getting. It's like it's just one of those little tiny things where someone has to point that out for me because I'm dumb. For me to go like. That is like just another little layer of that is definitely thought about when they write those lines.
Oh yeah.
Because they have to get everything down to one phrase, like
Yeah.
it's economy of words. Like say what you need to say quickly.
I like that. I like No Way Home, but I think it falls apart if you watch it a lot.
You can say that about every Marvel.
Every
film.
Marvel movie, every Marvel project put to screen.
I don't know. I've watched Winter Soldier and Civil War a lot, and like those movies hold up.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, yeah, even the
back to
bad
back
one,
to back to
even
back.
bad movies
Like,
can
I-
hold up if you enjoy them.
Like,
the
I
Fifth
said that,
Element
yes.
is not good, but it's very, it's very fun. It's a very silly, very fun, very lovable action
Yeah.
like sci-fi adventure.
And I'd say that Thor Ragnarok falls apart if you watch it a second time.
Yeah.
Like-
Back to the Future is the most riddled with plot holes story in the history of cinema, and
But it
is-
works.
But it's amazing. It's so fun.
It thrives off of vibes and aura.
Exactly. It is that aura
It's like
is
they
smooth
poured
and
all the
wonderful.
movie stats into charisma.
Yeah, and it works. There's a reason it's a
All right,
classic.
okay.
All three of them are great. They're
Like-
never bad.
Like me with the Raimi movies. On paper, I should
do
hate the
so
Raimi
bad.
movies.
Excuse me.
But you love the Raimi.
Yeah, I love
because
them.
they're charming.
Yeah, like they take place in a version of the 2000s where everyone acts like
hated
it's the
Doctor
60s.
Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I fucking hated it.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
It's because he's not Spider-Man. Sam Raimi didn't know how to write him. He was like, oh, he's not swinging. He's not like climbing on walls. He's floating. He's doing this weird things with his hands that aren't shooting webs. I'm gonna make him fight a tentacle monster.
Because I think Raimi actually did want to do Doctor Strange for years. Like,
Yeah.
even when he was doing Spider-Man, I think he actually
Oh well,
wanted
he
to do
hinted
Strange.
at that. Remember, he's like
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, and they're like, "No, it's
That's
taken."
taken. But yeah, on paper, I should probably hate the Raimi movies. They're comic and accurate, kinda. Spider-Man has organic web shooters. They do the whole thing with the symbiote actually affecting his behavior in Spider-Man 3. That was never a thing until the cartoon.
Really?
Yeah, in the comics, that was never a thing until the cartoon.
So what? Like in the how does he figure out the symbiote's kind of bad then?
He doesn't. He realizes, oh wait, it's alive. Get this thing off me, and he goes to the Fantastic Four.
Oh really?
That's where the Amazing Bagman costume comes from.
Huh?
Yeah, like that's all connected. He realizes it's alive. It's like, I want this thing off me. Like
That's kind of better, honestly. We were just talking about how he realized the symbiote was, not necessarily great to be wearing as a Spider-Man suit.
because he realized it's alive. That's like,
So in the movies, he makes him. I'm sorry, I'm talking to Charlie. He just got back from peeing. In the movie, he realizes
edit
that
this
it's
out.
affecting his attitude and making him a dick.
Yeah.
And is like, I need to get this off me. In the comics, it's just like it's alive, and I don't want to be wearing a living thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and he goes to the Fantastic Four, world's greatest heroes.
yeah. And Pedro Pascal helped him get it off.
Okay,
Nice.
quick little fun fact. Back to fighting games.
Here we go.
Okay, so Originally,
We're
when they
doing it.
made Marvel vs. Capcom 3, not Ultimate, vanilla Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they actually did want the Fantastic Four in. The problem was, Marvel has some weird mandates where if you put one member of the Fantastic Four in, you got to put all of them in.
That's annoying.
I could see that. I mean,
So-
because they weren't part of the MCU for a long time, just stop making.
This was before that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, Fantastic Four as a group
team, yeah.
has suffered probably the worst out of the last
Yeah.
20 years, 30 years even of entertainment because like they can't get a solid movie. And because they can't get a solid movie and they're owned by a different studio, Marvel doesn't want to promote them because the MCU still owns the comics. So
To
they
be
just cut
fair,
their comic.
that thing with the
they
whole
shut it down.
Marvel not promoting them and them just stopping the comics, that wasn't a thing until 2015.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but still though, Marvel's first family has been its last family
Yeah.
for the last.
So was the
However
X-Men,
long.
man. Remember, it was all Inhumans. Every new
Yeah.
character an Inhuman. And then they realized no one gives a fuck about the Inhumans.
Not even a
That's
little bit.
gay, man. You know.
Blackagar,
It really
Boltagar,
sucks too because
gay.
the show was like apparently good. I didn't watch it, but the cast is a great cast of actors.
They brought Black
It's-
Bolt back for Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Inhumans thing.
Like, but like the guy who plays Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones is in that show.
Bolton. Because it's Black Bolt.
Right,
He's Black Bolt.
I've never seen a man
Sure.
just visually sandbag you so hard.
sure.
I've never seen that. Just
There's
someone
like
get
four. There's like
visually
4 or
sandbagged.
5 actors in that show that are like really good gets that they tried to get for Inhumans to make it work, and it just did not work at all.
Well, yeah, the issue with the Inhumans is they're not really what Marvel tried to force them to be. Their whole thing was actually, you had it right with the Game of Thrones thing. Their whole thing is basically space Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
They just did nothing with the concept. It was like, fuck it, make them the X-Men.
yeah.
And then that didn't go well.
And they just straight up scrapped the fuck out of it. They
Yeah.
just are trying
Like-
to make people forget it happened in the first place.
Like, I think by the 11th episode that came out, they basically said, yeah, we canceled this. No more.
They live on the moon, right?
Yeah,
Or is
they-
it like a hidden city?
Yeah, they live on
or
the
something?
moon. Like the dark side of the moon. It's called
okay.
Adawan.
Oh, okay.
So, like, yeah, during that period, Capcom wanted all 4 of the Fantastic Four in, but, well, no. They wanted either the Thing or Human Torch. But if I remember right, they had technical limitations on how to get Human Torch to work. And they tried to make the Fantastic Four just one character. That didn't take due to technical hardware limitations. So, to compromise, they added Super Skrull to represent all 4 members of the Fantastic Four.
Just like in Secret Wars.
that show could have been so good.
Secret Wars?
Secret Wars, yeah.
Secret Invasion.
Oh,
Secret Invasion, sorry.
Secret
Just like in
Invasion.
Secret Invasion, sorry.
Secret Invasion was so good until the last episode. It was genuinely, it really actually was pretty decent. Like, Samuel L. Jackson was bringing his Samuel L. Jackson A game. They kill off Colby Smulders in the first episode.
Oh damn! No Maria
Really,
Hill?
no more Maria
Maria
Hill.
Hill.
They fuck you up with it. Like, it's the most brutal death in the MCU. It's fucking brutal. The main bad guy Skrull pretends to be Nick Fury and shoots her in the gut.
Sick.
And while trying to get her, like, beckon her over to, like, get out of, like, an assassination attempt from somebody else, and then shoots her in the middle of a crowd as Nick Fury on camera, framing Nick Fury for her death. It's brutal, and Nick Fury has to watch it from, like, 60 feet away and then escape.
Oh wow!
It's fucking, it's
So that's
fucked
what
up.
that show was about. I
It's
didn't
it's
watch
actually it's really good, and then the last episode really just throws it all away. Emilia Clarke, the chick who plays Daenerys Targaryen,
Oh, with the eyebrows.
yes, she is. She plays the daughter of the Skrull who's best friends with Nick Fury, the one from Captain Marvel. She plays his daughter, who's like a sleeper agent of the bad Skrull. She's like a double agent. She's on their side, air quotes, but really she's working for Nick Fury and her dad. Kind of like she's kind of like
Is she supposed to be the Super Skrull?
she ends up being the Super Skrull.
Like, does she get all the members of the Fantastic Four's powers?
She gets everybody from the MCU's powers.
That is lame as hell.
It's really lame, and it's the worst CGI that's ever had. She has Drax's arm for like 2 seconds,
Which makes no sense.
which makes this. It's really dumb. The whole thing looks really dumb, and it's all in the last episode that it's really dumb. It's really good up until the last episode. The guy playing the bad guy is the guy who played Bob Marley in that new Bob Marley biopic.
Oh yeah,
He's playing the bad guy. He's amazing until the last episode.
See?
The show had everything going for it, and everyone was mad that it had a generative AI opening theme. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? I don't care about that. The show was good. It was great.
You just lost your entire artist viewer base.
Oh yeah, no, I don't give a fuck. Look, the writing was good. It wasn't done by AI. It was actually done well until the
You
last
don't know
episode.
that.
Whatever. I don't know. Maybe.
You're like, oh,
if it was AI, there's an argument for AI. The story is good until the last episode of the show. The show is really good. The characters are really well written. The bad guys are bad. The good guys are like muddy. They're not like definitively doing the right thing. It's a really hard issue that they're fighting. The like Skrulls who want to stay on Earth and the ones who want to take it over. The ones who want to keep the bad
So
Skrulls.
that's what the whole show is about. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
Ben
like a Skrull
Mendelsohn.
Civil War.
Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn, the guy who is like the leader, Talos, the one who's
Baby, I don't know these names.
he's the friend of Samuel Jackson's.
Okay, I remember.
He's like
him
the
from,
leader,
from what was it? Far
Captain
From
Marvel.
No,
He's
Far
the
From
bad guy. In
I didn't
Rogue
watch
One.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, the bad
He's
guy.
the
in
bad
Rogue
guy in
One.
Rogue One.
I
Yeah.
He's
didn't
also
watch
the,
Captain Marvel.
He's
bro.
he's also the bad guy
Captain
that
Marvel's pretty good.
Bane
I've
puts
heard.
his hand on. Is like, does this
Oh.
make you feel in charge?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
like, he goes like, do you feel the charge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him. That's him. He's also the bad guy in Ready Player One.
Yeah. He was the bad guy for like
I didn't
minute.
watch
Bloodlines. He's the bad guy in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He's like one of the new age bad guys.
He's actually pretty fun as a good guy that you think's a bad guy at first in Captain Marvel. Him and Nick Fury and honestly Brie Larson and Nick Fury together like are the best parts of that movie, and I do not enjoy that movie.
I love that movie. He's good in every scene he's in, good guy or bad guy, depending on how he's being viewed for the scene. Because they trick you into thinking he's the bad guy, and he ends up being the good
Dude,
guy.
when he shows up drinking the shake at the end. I mean, anyways,
But anyway,
Right.
all that said, his character is amazing and is also, spoiler alert, is also killed off like halfway through the show. And in the way that Colby Smolder's death was amazing, his death is maybe the most unceremonious death in the entire MCU for how important, one, the character is, and two, how Ben Mendelsohn is one of the great actors alive right now, and he does not get the love he deserves.
see, the is had
It's
a
a
bad
Marvel
cut of
film.
the death. Like he did. He
I don't think they had a
botched it,
bad
and they had to
cut.
like cut it.
The
Like,
death is Ben Mendelsohn doesn't do anything wrong.
Maybe
The
it's
way
just-
they handle the situation of his death and the way that Nick Fury, not Samuel Jackson, the way that Nick Fury as a character deals with it is really dumb and really flat. They really just I think they may have a version of it that's good on the cutting room floor that just didn't make it to the final cut, but they fucking swung and missed with the way they handled that particular situation because his whole death is meant to catapult his daughter into helping Nick Fury.
Oh, okay.
And it's really dumb.
I was hoping we were going to see Coulson come back.
Now, if you watched Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know that Coulson is 7 robot prototypes deep into not coming back.
Did they
yeah,
ever?
Chris told me about all this.
Yeah, it's
Did
terrible.
they full on decanonize it, or is it still canon?
I don't fucking know.
They don't
After No Way Home, I don't think anything isn't canon anymore. I'm pretty sure they could bring fucking Superman 1982 into this shit and it make it
No, they
work.
tried that in Flash. Didn't
Yeah,
work. It
I
was
know. Flash was
ugly.
the movie that actually full on made me go, I never want to watch another superhero movie again.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch another multiverse movie.
I don't want. The only thing that made me want to watch another superhero movie was that I watched Shin Ultraman right after that, and I was like, "This is peak fiction. I like superheroes."
The Batman
again.
was good.
I like the Batman.
The
but
Batman was like
very
back
good.
to basics. Like this is how you make a superhero,
That's because
and a mystery, and a detective movie, and
Somebody-
a Halloween movie.
You know, everybody's making those jokes like Robert Pattinson signed on for this movie as a young Batman, and now by the time they make a second one, he's going to be an old man Batman. I get the jokes, but like, look,
He's immortal,
let
dude. He's a
that
vampire.
man cook, bro. The Batman is in my opinion, it's the best Batman movie we've got so far. We've had a lot of
Phantasm.
Yeah, well,
live action.
Okay,
Nope,
I'm not-
1966, Adam West, baby.
Okay.
I consider that peak fiction. If you actually sat down and watched that show,
And
it's
if
peak.
you really
I've
look
seen-
at it, it's influenced every Batman movie that's come out.
Not to mention, it was like the most comic accurate Batman ever
at the time.
at the time.
Sure.
Peak fiction.
Look at Joe, he's like, what's my...
Still bad.
And you're wrong.
It's not bad. It's just different. Like
Yeah.
it's like if
It's not it's not what anyone wants.
I would love if Batman went back to that.
Dude, could you imagine, like, James Gunn's like, hey, guys, trust me for a minute.
Dude, if
but,
James
like,
Gunn's-
we're going to do a reboot of Batman 66 and use that as the basis for our entire lineup of the DC.
I mean,
How do you think he's going to handle integrating Batman into his world right now?
I don't know,
'Cause-
man. I
'cause
know
he's-
right now he's like, dude, let them cook with
He's
the
like,
Batman.
bro, Matt Reeves is killing it. We're gonna let Matt Reeves do whatever he wants. I don't care if it takes him 10 years to write the script. He's gonna do it the way he wants.
I feel like-
and we're gonna accept that. But at the same time, he's saying that Batman is not gonna integrate with his
Yeah, because
DC
he's got
story.
his own Batman running with Damian Wayne as Robin, so he's going to do his own Brave and the Bold.
Batman and Son or whatever it is.
No, I think he's
Or is
calling
it
it Brave and the Bold.
Is it
So
called
he is
Brave?
straight up doing his own version.
Yeah. He's doing
I'm
his
not
own
a fan
thing.
of that. I don't like jumping right to Damian Wayne. I have a lot of problems with Damian Wayne as a character.
So does
He's
everybody.
my Miles Morales. I hate
But
that.
this is what he does. This is what James Gunn does.
Listen.
He takes characters that no one knows about and that people generally have problems with, and he makes you love them.
I know a lot
I
about
don't
Damian
know. I
Wayne,
was,
and
a, I
still
was a
hate
Guardians fan, and I still like the Guardians movies, but even then, I've got my problems with it. I don't like how Star-Lord is portrayed, but
Sorry, I just thought
Is it
funny
because of
joke.
Chris Pratt or because of James Gunn's writing of the character?
it's more his writing of the character. It's
Okay.
kind of the same issue I have with his Peacemaker, because his Peacemaker is just Star-Lord, but he says fuck.
Okay.
I think Robin's genuinely works stronger
Star-Lord
if
also
Batman
says
doesn't
fuck.
actually have like a
Not as
blood
often.
son, because then it's like, why is he like filling in this space with an adopted son? You know. But anyways, or adopted
To be
family.
fair, he didn't know he existed.
Who do you think, after seeing who they've cast for so many of the characters in Superman, who is an actor that will work as a Batman in this universe?
In that universe?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Well,
Roman Reigns. No, I was kidding. Sorry. Could you imagine?
So dumb.
The Samoan warrior. who
They
comes
want
up-
a lot of people want it to be the guy who's playing Reacher.
I feel
Oh,
like-
that guy? Ew, no, gross.
I feel like
He's
if they
too
go
buff.
with
He's
a
too buff.
Batman who has a kid at this point, he'd probably be older than the guy playing Superman.
I'm
He'd
tired
have
of
to
seeing
be.
an old Batman. Why can't we just get middle of the
Bro,
road peak
Robert
Batman?
Pattinson.
No,
You
okay,
got
but
that.
he's too young. I want to see like a
He's
Batman.
40.
No, I mean, but like in
Hold
the
on,
show,
hold
he's
on.
only been Batman 2 years. I want to see a Batman that's like 5 or 6, maybe even like 10 years into it.
So
Like,
you want a Batman in the middle of his career.
yeah, exactly.
Like Ben Affleck.
No, he's 20 years in, and obviously towards the end because he's been killing people like since Robin died.
Okay, that makes
That
sense.
yeah, even though they barely showed the outfit, that was what Zack Snyder.
So you
want
want to start out at the Dark Knight Rises of the...
Whoa, that's
James
not
Gunn.
no. If anything, the closest we've gotten to this
You'd
is
want
probably the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight's only like 2 years into
Yeah,
Batman.
but like for that Batman, that is his peak. Like that's the middle of that. You know,
Okay.
because then he's
I
gone
see
for
what
8
you
years
mean.
after.
I understand what he's saying. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get a
And that was
timeline.
a great movie, right?
Yeah,
Because Batman's
yeah.
at his peak. Like
Yeah.
he's at the best he's ever gonna be and has ever been. And
Yeah,
like
no, I
he
agree.
fights an at his peak Joker. Like it's a fantastic movie. Why the fuck are we so focused on Batman at the beginning or like, you know, an old Batman? Like I get they're cool, but that doesn't need to be the norm.
I
Because
understand.
the story most people who don't read comics would probably be familiar with
Well, he's
in
got used
passing would be Batman Year One and Dark Knight Returns.
That's a fair point. However, fuck those people. we need change. We need a Batman that'll make DC great again.
Okay.
When the chips are down, these civilized
I mean, we lost the guy who was going to change the hierarchy of power in the DC universe. We lost him. You guys
How long
weren't.
do you think it is before they make another Black Adam movie?
Dog.
Or make it cast
How-
a Black Adam?
I'm going to say in between how long it's been since they've made another Green Lantern movie.
You know what's going to be really funny?
Oh, that's good.
You know what's going to be unbelievable?
yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson just got cast in Martin Scorsese's next movie as the lead character. Martin Scorsese's going to make a movie
With Dwayne
with
The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson leading the
He
film.
needs it.
Oh, he's actually
He
going to
needs it.
act in this movie.
Yeah, hopefully.
He needs something where he's actually acting because John Cena just makes him look
So,
like obsolete.
yeah.
And like
Well, John Cena and Dave Bautista at this point are
Yeah.
both killing it
Yeah.
in all their own
and
right.
like are
But
critically
here's my
acclaimed
amazing
actors.
here's my
Like, they
amazing
got past
prediction.
the action guy. You
Here's
know?
my amazing prediction, right? We get this movie from Martin Scorsese with Dwayne Johnson. It's so good that James Gunn's like,
They run it back.
we're gonna run it back. You know what? Fuck it. Let's let him be Black Adam again. Maybe he can let me make a Black Adam movie with Dwayne Johnson.
I feel
Could
like
you
the thing with
imagine?
Black Adam is they kind of went overboard with how they promoted it.
Yeah, it was
Like,
a little too.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
even-
that was The Rock though. The Rock
Did you
was
watch
like,
it? Was it any good?
No,
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like
No.
period, right? Like not at all good.
no,
Okay.
no. I caught it on TV the way it should be watched in the middle of the day at my parents' house, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is awful."
All right. So, if they cast a Batman for the DCU, I think it needs to be either somebody that's like a complete unknown, or maybe Timothy Chalamet.
Huh?
Yeah,
I'm down. That man has not missed yet. in
that's
his
what I'm
career.
saying. Like I could see, like right now, like
I
he's a younger guy, but like by the time
Didn't
they
you
get them,
just say
Well,
that you
no.
were sick of younger Batman?
I'm
did.
sick of a young Batman, not a
And
younger
this
guy
guy?
playing
Oh,
Batman.
okay.
Because
Okay.
like if he gets in
understand.
there and he's like, because he already has done an incredible job with several movies.
Yeah, I saw Doom.
And
I saw
a complete unknown playing Bob Dylan. He
I
does
saw
it.
I
Wonka.
wanted to watch that one.
I saw Wonka.
You were the only person who saw Wonka.
It made $2 billion. A lot of people saw.
Did
Wonka.
you see it?
It was
No.
okay.
Okay then. I ain't trying to hear that shit. It made
okay.
$2 billion.
Yeah, it didn't make $2 billion. That would be absurd. It made a lot though. It did very well.
Like if you hadn't seen it, that's how I know nobody watched it.
I can see
many
him
people watched
right
it.
now as a young Bruce Wayne, but like by the time we get to Brave and the Bold, when they're doing the casting for that, he could have the chance to change his body as an actor.
I was gonna
fit
say
in
it would be
that.
really sick if they introduced him in something like Superman in one of these first couple of movies
Yeah.
as Bruce Wayne, Timothy Chalamet playing Bruce Wayne,
Yeah.
and we don't even see Batman for like 2 or 3 movies before we finally get him.
like they build.
See,
to
that's
it.
how I kind of
Yeah.
figured they'd always
Or-
introduce Batman in this new
I
stuff.
could
Just-
see what's his name that played Charles Xavier as
James
Bruce
McAvoy?
Wayne.
James McAvoy?
Yeah, he could do good.
I mean, yes, I do think he could do good. I just don't think he's the right. He's too old now.
He's too old now.
He's like
maybe like
50.
10 years ago.
My
Is he
take
like
on like
50?
Batman
Damn. Let me
casting has
double
always
check.
been well, whatever. We
I'll
got
be right
Michael
back.
Keaton. We got Michael Keaton, and everyone was like, he can't do it.
Yeah,
got-
that's true.
we
Dude,
got
imagine
Robert-
they get Shane Gillis to play Batman.
Sure, why not? Like that's always been my
He's
take on
45. I thought he was 50, but still.
Yeah, he is just a little too old for it now.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize this while I was watching Deadpool and Wolverine that the actress they casted to play Cassandra Nova looks like a gender flip James McAvoy. So good on them for that casting.
Yeah, that shit was unbelievable. That really was, like, especially when you get the side by sides. It's kind of uncanny how good they cast that.
Like that was one of the first things I noticed.
One thing I really hate about the way X-Men turned out was they really had a good thing going when they tried to reboot it with First Class. Because First Class, forget about any kind of comic book accuracy. When it comes to grabbing IP and putting it to screen, they made an unbelievable film
Yeah.
with First Class. And with Logan, but in a different way. First Class they had an opportunity to really kill it, and they began to crescendo with fucking what's the next one with Peter Dinklage
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past. They started a crescendo and it kind of just like muddled off at the end. I don't think it ended.
Days of Future Past?
Yeah, that movie did not.
No, I don't.
No, you did.
No, that was you.
You walked by and you cut it
Yeah,
off.
no.
Yeah,
Well,
you
you
did.
start. Then Ted did when he climbed back there. That's what,
yeah, unplugged it.
okay. They started a crescendo. Like 3/4 of the way through that movie, I was like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be sick!" And then it just kind of, in my opinion, that movie ends a little flat. And then they
Talking about Apocalypse.
No,
no Days of Future Past.
Oh,
and then
really?
and then going into Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix or whatever the fuck it was called. They just
No, Dark Phoenix is right. Yeah.
they were both just so bad. They were
Wait. So you think?
You're telling me you didn't like that explanation for why Charles Xavier is bald and why Storm has white hair? Are you telling me you weren't at the edge of your seat?
focused movie.
Are you telling me you weren't at the edge of your seat seeing, oh my god, he's bald now?
Don't look at me and say these things like this. They can't detect your sarcasm the way I've been trained for 14 years to detect this sarcasm. They don't know anything about this. These people listening,
So
they think you're being serious.
You think Days of Future Past falls flat? that?
Yeah.
Really?
At the end.
Yeah,
I mean,
kinda
it's
agree with that.
it starts off really good and strong, but it just does not deliver on how sick it sets itself up.
I think the thing with Days of Future Past is
First
it's
Class
clearly
is-
a movie playing
Yeah.
playing cleanup.
Yes.
To basically explain like two different X-Men continuities they got running around.
Exactly.
And
They're
what-
trying to do too much with one thing. It would have. They might have been able to make it work as like a part 1, part 2,
Yeah.
instead of one big movie like they did.
Have you ever watched the road cut of it?
No,
The road cut is very satisfying.
I'm sure.
They
fact-
they
First
explain
Class-
where Rogue is at and like why she wasn't around, and then they go and get her, and she takes Kitty's place, and Kitty dies. Like it's the whole thing.
Oh yeah. That,
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's so fun.
But I didn't see that. I saw the ones
Iceman
that got
dies.
released, and it's okay. It's not bad, but then the next 2 are bad. They just stayed bad after
well,
that.
I'm convinced a Dark Phoenix arc is cursed.
To be fair, with Dark Phoenix, the first movie, they actually had some shit lined up. The first Dark Phoenix, I mean, they had shit lined
Like
up.
Last Stand, X-Men Last Stand. Yeah.
they had stuff lined up. They set it up. It's just they switched directors, and we lost the pedophile because he went to direct Superman, and instead we got a different sexual harasser,
Wait, who was the pedophile?
Bryan Singer.
Okay.
Like this isn't.
I haven't heard
Oh, I'm
that.
sorry, alleged pedophile.
Yeah, alleged pedophile.
Yeah, allegedly.
Alleged
Allegedly.
pedophile.
But probably, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like the Cosby thing, like, you know.
Thank you.
Well, if it was like-
he's convicted.
Yeah.
He is
No, no, no,
officially
no, no.
a pedophile.
I just mean, like, you know how in the
no,
beginning
those
we're
women
like,
were drunk and were of age.
you know, like how in the beginning it's like, well, 2 or 3, you know, and then it got to like 19, and you're like, oh.
You know, everyone makes that mistake. They drug a woman every once in a while.
Well, no, like I mean 2 or 3 being
That's
like,
just a Thursday.
like,
Like,
because like I don't know if it's somebody really famous, like it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, whatever. Like there's always that little bit of doubt to believe you because of like just the knowing
it
that
is.
how regular people are.
Yeah.
would you ever hear like comedians and actors talk about it after the fact? They're
Oh,
like,
Hannibal Buress was trying to get them to go after him for years.
Hannibal Buress is the reason it happened.
Yeah.
Well, it's because Hannibal Buress just had the balls to talk about it. Apparently, like everyone, this was kind of just known. Like Bill Cosby, like drugs women. Like this was just a thing in Hollywood that no
Same
one
thing
was
with
talking
Harvey
about.
Weinstein. Hell,
Yeah.
Courtney Love straight up said it on camera. Don't
Yeah.
be alone with Harvey Weinstein.
Justin Bieber said it about fucking Diddy and
Yeah.
Usher for you know for the fucking
They had that
the beginning of
boy
his career.
there like what, a month,
Yeah, something crazy.
like working on music.
Yeah, shit's nuts.
And I love the after video where Justin's like, yeah, man. He looks like somebody who was molested.
Yeah.
That sounds so fucked up to say, but
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. The man got molested by the diddler. Which, now that I think about it,
You ever
getting
seen-
prime Justin Bieber back then, that's like hitting the pedophile gold. Like, you're never going to top that. Like, think about it. You're never going to top that if you're a pedophile.
That's like getting Timothy Chalamet 10 years ago.
Yeah, like,
I know. Well, like, I don't know, man. It's Diddy though. Like Diddy just had so many resources and so many things. Like
exactly. He was
Bieber,
able to hit the
Bieber was
pedophile
probably
gold.
like a Tuesday night for this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, he hit the pedophile gold and he couldn't even enjoy it.
Does,
Not that
I
anyone
don't like
should.
where this argument is going.
Not that anyone should enjoy it. I mean, he
There
still
you
hit
go.
the pedophile gold.
There you go.
though.
Backpedal.
I gotta cover my own ass. I am not a pedophile. I like women my own age. See, there's no better way to let them know you're not a pedophile than if you shout it.
We gotta make a song real quick. Everybody release a song that says
I
diddle
don't
kids."
touch kids. I don't like touching kids.
not diddle
We don't
kids.
touch kids. La, 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 la.
That's my favorite episode of It's Always Sunny.
It's a pretty good one.
Oh God.
We need to make a song saying we don't touch kids. We don't diddle kids.
Do not diddle kids.
It's weird
Do
that
not
that
diddle
was-
kids.
It's weird that was Drake's response to Kendrick. He's like, "I don't touch kids."
Prove it.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh no, did he say it was like I
Yeah, he
proved that?"
basically said prove it. And
Have you ever seen the movie Contact
yes.
with Jodie Foster and
Yes.
Matthew McConaughey? Have you ever seen it?
No, but I've heard of somebody watching Spotlight.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's-
Literally not even sort of in the
That's the one
realm.
with the Catholic Church and how they exposed them for
That-
touching little
And they
boys.
have nothing to do with what the movie Contact is.
No, I thought it was going to be a movie about pedophilia.
No,
given what we were
not
just
even
talking
a
about.
little bit.
Like Contact was going to be like,
No, Contact.
I reached for Charlie, by the way.
Yeah,
As well.
I think Creighton was implying that the contact meant like touching a
I'm
little
drinking
kid.
this alcoholic ginger beer, and that shit almost came out my nose from that.
Contact is a movie about aliens making contact with the human race.
like
and
contact or
No, like-
contact.
No, that's
Like
a different movie,
communication.
Creighton.
Oh, okay.
That is a different movie you're describing.
Spotlight, you haven't seen that either?
No.
Why do you even talk about movies you haven't seen? I hate you. I hate him. I was looking at you when I said it, but I meant I
I've
was
seen
at
the movie
him.
though. Don't worry.
Okay, you mean Contact?
I've seen both the movies.
You've seen Spotlight?
Yeah, I've
I
seen
love you
Spotlight.
so much.
As
Is
much
that
as I
movie
don't-
not unbelievable?
Yes, it's
so good.
As much as I
Spotlight
don't
or
talk about it,
Contact?
I am a subtle movie guy. on the
yeah,
side.
no, yeah.
I just don't watch a lot.
I
of
like the
Hollywood
one
movies,
with
though.
Amy Adams, Arrival. I like
Arrival.
Arrival's pretty
Yo,
good.
Also
I was about
very
to
good.
say Man of Steel after he said the one with Amy Adams.
Oddly
How
enough,
dare
those came out close enough that I was like, "Is Arrival a Superman sequel?" Because like,
No,
the
that would be
design
a
isn't
Flash
that
sequel.
far away.
The
from-
cinematography does look weird, vaguely similar.
and like the ship kind of looks similar to those ships that were coming from Krypton.
You're
They don't
losing
look
me.
like a dick, but they look like a stone.
I rewatched Contact recently,
I like how he just gave up
And-
on looking at you.
and it is so good. It is so much better than I remember. Because when I watched it originally, I was I probably haven't watched it in 15 years minimum. Like, maybe longer than that. I might have been a little kid. I might have been like 10 or 11 when I watched it. That movie, one, is so good. And two, Robert Zemeckis almost made it perfect.
But
But he succumbed, in my opinion, to the executives. I think they were like, we need her to have a reason to want to come home or maybe be apprehensive. And so when she goes to Japan to get on the second ship, Matthew McConaughey's just there. And he's like, I didn't vote for you not to go. I voted because it was the right thing to do, but also because I wanted you to stay. And then he like puts his forehead on her forehead and he gives her back the compass. And it's fucking really shitty. And it made me so mad because other than like legitimately that one scene,
it would have been
that movie's kind of flawless. I
is
do
the-
agree that a lot of people are bummed by the like air quotes climax of her talking to her, the alien, her dad, air quotes. That scene, when people frame the problems they have with the scene, I get it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
have problems. I really like it. I think it was written really well, and the
Contact strongest soldier here.
I don't know about strong. It's very good, but I think that the sentiment behind what that movie's trying to say, one, is literally Interstellar. First of all, it is Interstellar is just Contact 20 years later. Like they just made it. The music was better because I don't know
I
if you,
actually haven't seen Interstellar. Which one was Interstellar?
with
That's
Matthew
what Matthew
McConaughey
McConaughey.
also and Anne Hathaway. It's the Christopher Nolan movie
Oh, okay.
with the
okay.
cornfield.
Oh, okay,
that
okay.
shit. Yeah, he's a farmer.
See, I was getting it mixed up with The Martian in my mind.
Also great, really great.
I've seen that.
Love that.
I haven't
movie.
seen Interstellar.
Do you like Martian? The
Yeah, I
Martian's-
remember
I
liking
like that one a lot. I'm a big nerd for the space movies, but the most annoying thing about Contact is it's literally the Forrest Gump soundtrack.
Is it really?
Yes, it is an incredibly well thought out and well written, like what would happen philosophically and logistically if we were to make contact with another race billions of light years away, blah, 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 blah. How would that work? Would all these things, how would it be orchestrated? How would like humanity deal with it? And the whole time, every time there's a halfway romantic idea, you just hear da 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 da.
Oh my God.
Da 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 da. Da, da, da.
Okay, now that you're saying it, I'm recalling it now. Yeah, this is.
It's literally the fucking Forrest, like, it's almost like note for note, the Forrest Gump theme, and it really, every time, takes me it's all really good. And then it takes you all the way out. They pull you all the way out of it for, like, every moment there's a musical beat. And it's really bad because Jodie Foster is giving, like, Jodie Foster's like 4 or 5-time Oscar award nominated, 2-time Oscar
Jodie
award
fucking
winning.
Foster.
Yeah, Jodie Foster. You're talking about a world-class actress. There's 2 scenes in this movie where I'm like, holy shit, how is she not nominated for this movie?
And then it's because of the music.
And then it's because of the music. It's not really because of the music. Like,
Did it not do well back then?
it did pretty good.
Because No, I
But
was pointing at you.
yeah, well, I thought I heard something outside. It did pretty good. I remember. I think it was received very well. It just was one of those.
Came and went. Films.
I really think it came and went, but also I think it was because of stuff like a soundtrack not really making a lot of sense with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It did not pair well. I don't think it was at the time where like every movie the soundtrack was kind of that.
Oh.
Robert Zemeckis did that for a long time. Forrest Gump and Contact was like 2 years after Forrest Gump.
It was like
his
people
next
started
movie.
thinking about scores being part of it.
Oh,
Yeah, like he literally went Forrest Gump Contact. Like that was his next movie. So I really
Fucking
feel like
copy
he was
and paste for the next
yeah,
assignment.
and there's no overlap of cast, so I feel like he was like straight up just.
He had an off day.
He had, I think he was just. I think in the editing room he was like, fuck it, get the Forrest Gump, pull it to this
Change
computer.
this key here and this key here, and we're good.
Yeah, like it's literally the same.
Who were we talking about the other day that can't carry a tune? Randy Newman. Me and Cooper. And
You guys were saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, I think he's great.
I think he's fine too, but he also sounds like
Are you
he's
telling
deaf.
me you didn't like "You Got a Friend in Me"?
That's a good song. He's a great composer. He can't sing for shit.
That's crazy. It's a crazy thing to say.
Well, I mean, like you like a man that sounds deaf who isn't deaf.
That's a fucked up thing to say. Also,
I'm just saying.
no,
Because-
you're just regurgitating what Cooper said,
I am
and Cooper
regurgitating-
and Cooper's a hater.
But he pointed it out, and I can't unsee it.
Well, Cooper doesn't mean it. You
I
mean
know.
it after you
I
heard
don't
it.
mind Randy Newman that much, but I'm not gonna pretend that I'm over here bumping my Randy Newman tracks.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
car.
I mean, I'm not either, but like, I think you're giving him too much hate out of
Listen.
nowhere for no reason. The guy's
I
dead.
like You Got a Friend
No,
in
he's not. He's alive.
Randy Newman's alive.
Randy Newman.
Are you
Randy
sure?
Newman, the actor, is dead, but Randy Newman, the artist, is alive.
Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah, for real. I'll pull that up real quick. I
Just
could have
type
swore.
in Randy Newman Toy Story. Make sure you write down the specific Randy
understand.
Newman. Also, is that his son?
I don't fucking know, man.
Randy
Why'd
Newman
you look
Jr.?
at me when you asked that
I
question?
don't know. I felt
I
like
don't
you would know.
I only know Randy Newman from Toy Story.
He's 81 years old.
What's he look like now?
And that one, like,
He looks old.
Let me see.
He looks
and I only
81.
remember him because of that one Family Guy.
I
bit.
love that he looks like a chef in the second one. He looks like he's
Huh.
like they want people to cook now. I'll dress for the job.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Randy Newman was black.
No, that's the guy who played Oogie Boogie. He's dead.
He just died.
Did
yeah.
he die?
Yeah, that guy just died. It was hilarious because literally everybody's picture was Oogie Boogie. The like rest in peace Oogie Boogie. It wasn't even him. It wasn't even the guy. It was like everyone was
You're
like
like, the
guy.
character's not
Everyone
dead.
was like guy who voiced him. This guy. This picture. The guy that you don't see is dead.
God, I can't
like they
wait
were
to-
not giving the guy credit. They were giving the
the
character.
fact that we have not said that man's name. We've said Oogie Boogie like 5 times.
yeah.
We have not said that actor's name.
I still know it.
I can't wait to bring
I
it up
gotta
the next
pretend I
time
do.
we watch. What's it? Nightmare Before Christmas.
No,
I'm gonna
next
look
time
at,
you play Kingdom Hearts, great.
I'm gonna look at Caitlin and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, did you know Boogie's dead? Like Oogie Boogie,
No,
he
you gotta,
died.
The next time you play Kingdom Hearts, Creighton, it's got to be that.
Is he in? Is he in that?
Yes, Halloween. Nightmare Before Christmas is in Kingdom Hearts. It's in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Listen, here's the situation. We need to wrap.
We do.
Yeah.
Why? What's wrong?
I gotta poop,
Oh, okay.
and it's a real one. I gotta go home for this one.
oh my
Oh
god.
man,
yeah, this
Okay.
is like I gotta get out of here.
Okay.
we're wrapping-
All right. Well, Chris, thank you for coming on, talking about multiple things, not just gaming, which is what I kind of figured would happen. But that's cool. If this is the best person for us to have these conversations with, because like he's way more knowledgeable about the comic side of things than I could ever be.
Well, it's not just that he has an actual opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just yes manning or disagreeing
and
because
I
they want
also
to.
watch movies too.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Aleem can only give so much information because he doesn't watch films.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually watch the movies.
Yeah.
Chris watches movies.
Yeah.
So he has
And
something
also
to
does
say.
competitive fighting games.
True.
I'll say
Excuse me,
this
thank you for
before
coming
I
on.
wrap.
Nope.
Please get into new fighting games. Don't be scared. You're not going to be the best, and that's okay. Just play fighting games. Don't do it because you want to be the best. Do it because you're having fun. And also, pick up Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. That's coming out in April. Peak Fiction.
Chris wrote for the game. He designed the sprites. I don't know. I'm just
No,
saying
that's
stuff.
true. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to keep up with your latest episodes of Shirts Off. And we'll see you on the next one.